hanging by a thread, hung up on all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. And what's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. Upside down. Upside down. Gonna turn it all upside down. And don't tell me that I need saving. Finally awake and living. Yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack, and now my mind's attacked. And I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God,
changes.
Life. Life.
Personalize the way you see everything, and then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S-Switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
Hello and welcome to day 3 of Paris Games Week ESWC. We are kicking off the day here, just about to get started. I'm Nick at Night, joined by Yarn. How you feeling jumping into day 3?
What's up, everyone? It's great to be here in Paris live. It's going to be insane with the top 16 players.
Yes.
We've had how many groups are there? There were 4 groups.
Yeah, so the last 2 days, we've been grinding through 4 different groups, 128 players. We've arrived at the final 16, and we're going to be bringing you as many matches as we can today, with the final 4 competing on the big stage later this afternoon. That will be a super, super hyped event. Right now, everyone's just getting their seats, getting started, and we have a match pulled up that'll begin shortly here after we do these intros.
It's going to be insane. We have the top 4 of each bracket. So these guys had to qualify for the 1,000 tournament to even be here. So the top players of the 1,000-player tournaments of that, and then of those groups, the top 4 of those top 1,000 players. So this is the best of the best that we're bringing today.
The cream of the crop, and we're going to see those, whatever they have, drop, because these decks we've been seeing are absolutely crazy. I think we ended yesterday on quite a bang when Surgical initially lost with the Expo and then ended up going 3-0 with this Rocket deck. So
He did.
He's going to be a big player to see. Who else are we looking forward to see today? I know you have a couple names in mind.
Baby Star is very interesting too. He ranks number 1 globally in ladder, and he really showed his skill. And there's definitely, like why he's number 1 is just like the technical aspect of the game that he understands.
I think a good analysis there would be on the fly in between the last match that he eventually did lose, but it was close. He completely made a deck just to counter Surgical's Rocket deck with a mirror and an Elixir Collector, because he knew it would draw the Rocket and then he could put the other one down and then try to build something out of that. But just that skill set alone right there that we saw at Baby Star means, hey, maybe if he doesn't have to face Surgical till later in the day, he could be a big threat later on.
That's right. And at the time, it made a lot of sense when he was compiling the Elixir Pump to kind of counter the Rocket. But unfortunately, Surgical had a very strong understanding of that, and he knew how to bypass that as well. But the fact that he made that on the spot.
Yeah, that was crazy. And our first matchup is Procol and B Village. We're jumping straight into it here. No time to waste. Here we go.
So they're both sitting at 10 Elixir right now. I wonder what Procol is going to play. He was probably one of the best matches we've ever seen.
Yeah, that was when we kicked off day 1. He just immediately dominated everyone almost that day and took his seat in this final very handedly right now. We're seeing an Ice Golem and Log. What could that be? It could be that Golem deck.
That was a very early Log. So he's going into that value Fireball. Again, B Village is always using that Fireball to chip damage away. As soon as he sees a Musketeer or a Mega Minion, he's always putting down that Fireball. But then Procol goes into that Miner for that value Mega Minion. Look, he's got a sliver of health, but it does not reach the tower just because of that Ice Golem and the guards coming in.
B-Village is looking like a Expo deck. Yes, it is right there. Down it goes. And we see the Ice Golem up in front. There's the Lightning spell. It'll hit the Expo Golem and a guard.
You heard it here first. Nick calling the 13th card today.
I was trying to wait for you to finish because I knew it was going down in front of those, or right behind the guards and Ice Golem.
Your prediction is always on point. Look at the value Expo. Even though it got lightninged, it still did so much damage to that tower, but Procol's going to punish him for that with guards and Mega Minion.
And that's an interesting push. It's very difficult to get a Mega Minion with just one troop, especially one that doesn't go in like a miner all the way to a tower. He attempted that right there.
And if you notice, that Mega Minion that B Village planted was just a little bit farther away from the other Mega Minion, so they could be at an equal stalemate to eliminate each other. So that's a great counter.
There's the Ice Golem, and you have to assume as he hits 10, the Expo will go down. There's the Inferno Tower. And with the Ice Spirit,
a little bit late on the guards because he couldn't predict it, but now B Village might be prepared for the next attack with the Inferno Tower.
Procol's Ice Spirit just froze an Ice Spirit, Ice Golem, and guards. That was super important in the Inferno Tower's ability to take out the Expo.
That was actually an amazing play.
Yeah.
So with the next rotation, once the cards reset, I'm expecting B Village to predict the Expo plant by planting guards in front to protect from that Inferno Tower.
I did see you guys in chat just a second ago. It was kind of an awkward start. I feel like both players, neither one really had their preferred starting hand. We saw a couple awkward exchanges there in the beginning.
Yeah, and if you notice that Ice Spirit was planted right before that Expo right after that Expo was planted, he predicted it not with guards, but with the Ice Spirit. Taking out that tower right there.
That Expo could probably take out another one. It has so much health left, but there's nothing for it to shoot.
Yeah.
And now it's uphill battle for Procol. He's got to get something. Oh.
And B Village missed that log, so that's going to cost them quite a bit of tower damage onto that miner. So with that miner still chipping away, Procol will have enough to lightning the tower now.
the prediction guards against prediction guards, and the Expo just has to go through a few more. Can he get the Inferno Tower up before it is on the tower? No.
It's going to be looking very grim for him just because he doesn't have a zap to reset with, even if he plants down that Inferno Tower.
And he'll be able to take it into overtime with that lightning spell, but that's just really not what he wanted to do. So it's going to be Expo taking the tower down to just over 900.
That Ice Spirit did provide a lot of value, though, right there.
Yeah, it did stop it just long enough.
And look at Procol. He knew B-Village's rotation was back on the Expo, so he already pre-planted the Inferno Tower before B-Village even planted that Expo, but it's not enough to defend.
It's interesting how B-Village hasn't used a card, and he does have Fireball and Log.
Right there,
He
B-Village
only
goes
used
for
7
2
cards that whole game.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy. It'd be interesting, but we're going to be jumping into these are going to be back-to-back, but later on I'd be curious to see what his final card was that he couldn't justify using with that Expo deck.
Yep.
Maybe another direct damage, but that'd be kind of weird.
I'm excited to see the other matches because it's best out of 5, so...
Yep, all day best of 5s, and this is going to just be an exciting finale to watch because first place is going to be taking home
$5,000, and in second place,
$2,500, third,
$1,000.
$500,
Exactly.
and then $1,000.
Yep.
That was weird going back and forth, but hey, we're just getting things rolling here. It's only going to get better.
Yep.
So an Expo versus just the minor chip.
Just that whole play right there with Procol, he didn't really have many answers to the Expo. Well, he did have the Inferno as an answer, but he didn't have the right rotation at the time.
Yeah. Oh, wow, we're already jumping. No, okay. We had the transition going, so I was like, oh, are they starting up? I don't see a match yet, but we'll see. It's up to Procol here. What's he going to do, knowing that the Expo did just shut him down pretty well right there?
Looks like Procol is building another deck for that. He's snapping his thumbs. That must be his thinking position.
Do you want to do the analysis on the devices being played on?
Oh, yeah. Same again. B-Village is playing with an iPad, and Procol is playing with an... looks like an iPhone. So
the audio jack's up top. I don't know. Is that a...
Either way, it's still a phone, so...
It's still
Procol
smaller.
has that advantage. He has shorter throw distance on his thumb.
Yeah, even though I'd say if you're not holding the device like these guys are here and it's mounted, I prefer a larger device because I just have my hand sort of like this.
Yep.
Set up, and you get the drops going
And
like that.
I don't even-
But when you're holding it, yeah.
I don't even drag my troops on the iPad. I just do a
No.
quick drop. So I tap it and I select it. A lot of people say that's not accurate, but after you kind of get used to that, it's very
Yeah.
efficient.
Dragging, yeah, you're going to initially maybe land more exactly where you mean to,
Yeah.
but once you get used to just tapping and just making sure you quickly verify that radius of whatever spell you're dropping or whatever unit you're dropping, let go. I prefer that as well. And it looks like in the background, we got B-Village and Procol queuing up. No. Okay. That is an oops right there. And you can tell it's early in the morning for these guys because
So-
accepting the wrong person's battle
Elish
is...
was not supposed to be battling B-Village right now, so...
Nope. So we'll just... I don't know how they end those right there. We're going to jump back over here. They're going to get that ended quickly. One person's just going to go for the 3 crown. But that's in the wrong matchup. We'll get it corrected here in just a second. Immediately they had run over to the referee desk and were like, wait a minute. Who's this?
Yep, so unfortunately there is no quit button in friendly challenges, so B-Village does have to slowly 3 crown him to get
Supercell,
exit.
please.
Supercell, we need a buff.
We need
of
a
the
buff.
exit. What was that?
I said we need a buff to the 3 crown as the only way to end a battle instantly strategy.
I need an X button. That would really help me for my videos.
Yeah, because I assume when you're sending things down lane at a tower with full health, that's the only take that it's going to apply to, and you have to restart it again to do that.
Yeah, so in the match, it looks like B-Village is using an X-Bolt to go for that 3 crown, which is not bad. Only took a minute and a half to get through that.
Also, keep in mind, he's probably sticking with the Expo. Unless that was all a mind game and he meant to accept the wrong match, only to then show an Expo, only to then go back in and take Procol on with a non-Expo deck.
So
A double mind game. Inception.
rock, paper, scissors, diamond. So there's a 4th element now.
Whoa. Diamonds. All right, we're going to get the right one going here.
That analogy was the worst I've ever made.
I'm
Anyways,
going to let you slide on that one, but not much more today because it's about to get serious.
Both of them sitting at 10 elixir. They're just waiting for the other opponent to make the first move so they can make a counter attack.
Yep, B-Village is sticking with the Expo.
Predicting the Expo already with just the Ice Golem.
That's all you need. I mean, it's not all you need because it's the Golem Ice Golem deck we've also been seeing in the tournament a lot lately. But I mean, look at the rest. Yeah.
With B Village planning the Mega Minion in the back, we can kind of see that he's not planning for a big counterattack right now, and then Proko go in for that rocket for that value Mega Minion right there. Does he even have to defend against that Expo? He might not because the Inferno Tower does cost 5 elixir.
The benefit of catching the tower and the Mega Minion is that he can't hit the rocket. I guess that's not a benefit. That's the
That was the
consequence.
That was the correct response to that Expo. Just with that Miner, he didn't have enough elixir to plant down his Inferno Tower, so that Miner did tank for it while the Mega Minion took out that Expo. And Prokul is still at an advantage with more tower damage than B Village.
Will we see the rocket fly again? No, it's too quick. You would have had to pre-fire that rocket to catch that Mega Minion. Now, he's probably going to want to go for the Expo now. And let's see what happens here. Oh, Expo goes down from the rocket. That was nice. He caught the Ice Golem, Mega Minion, and Expo with that rocket.
That was a very value rocket right there.
All right.
So their
They're
card
both-
rotations are reset, and they could be attacking very hard again. But B Village did learn his lesson from the first time with that Mega Minion, so he won't be planting in the back again.
They both are just waiting for the other person to commit so then they could set up. B Village really wants to defend with his guards and Mega Minions so that then he could place the Expo right underneath them and have them blocking.
He did miss that log on the Miner, so it did cost him some guard chip damage right there. And Prokul sitting at 10 elixir, he's going to go in for the rocket, take out that Expo, but that Expo is going to deal some chip damage.
Yeah, I'd say it almost got the amount of like a Mega Minion swing, even with the rocket hitting it. It's pretty
It did.
crazy. It's like 300 or so.
Look at Prokul go in for that value log, takes
Wow.
out the guard shield and the Ice Spirit, so that Mega Minion's going to have no trouble taking out that Mega Minion or that Ice Golem.
So let's see what his answer is here. Oh, there it is, the rocket, and that's going to take out Mega Minion, Ice Golem, and Expo again.
Yep.
Pretty clutch on those triple hits on the rocket, and that's what's really keeping him ahead right
Going
now.
in for that prediction log, Prokul does distract those guards long enough for that Miner to do some chip damage to the tower. Prokul puts down an Inferno Tower in the very
he does
front.
have an Inferno, okay.
Very good placement on the Inferno Tower. It does have 1800 health. It would have provided him no value because those guards would have taken it out in the front. Now that Prokul doesn't have a login rotation, those guards are
man.
at full health.
Double elixir, I think it's
Yeah.
definitely Expo's a little
gonna be very
stronger
close.
now.
The rocket goes
Oh,
in.
Wow. So
That was
we've
a-
seen Expo get taken out by rocket, and then the initial loss to the Miner is just making this 1-1 now.
Yeah.
Dead even going into game 3.
That was a
after
very
that
close match.
craziness, yeah.
That was insane. That was a very risky play on Prokul. He didn't have any chance to use arrows in that entire match, so he was
Yep.
sitting on one card that he couldn't use. So that kind of messed up his 4-card rotation.
How do you feel about he didn't pull the Inferno out for most of the Expo plays just because he knew there were probably guards and Mega Minion coming at it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the biggest thing too is with the Inferno Tower, it's a building, so it's not going to counterattack. Whereas when he puts down something like guards, then now B Village has to react to the counterattack of those guards,
React to the reaction.
to the reaction.
It's all just a big reaction. Reaction Royale. We'll see if either player changes. I feel like Prokul, that rocket deck was pretty solid. He could probably stick with it. Was it similar to Surgical's?
It was very similar to that.
You know, I feel like
Uh,
Surgical's might even be cheaper. I think he had like Ice Spirit and Ice Golem or something like that.
Yeah, he did have an Ice Golem.
Yeah, that was crazy. We'll see how this goes here. We're gonna that was the kind of match later on in this bracketed 16-player final we could have got loud for, but we're saving it.
Yeah,
We're gonna take it from here up to here.
that's exactly what we're gonna do. And one thing I want to mention too in that last game was, I found it was very risky for Prokul to play those arrows because he didn't have enough elixir to immediately rocket it. So he almost actually lost the tower just from the guards and the Mega Minion locking in.
Yeah, they were right. They were one tile away from
Yeah.
being able to take
That
that thing
just-
out. The one Mega Minion swing, I think it had 400 health left. The tower, so
It did.
It would have been just a guard and a Mega Minion.
Just 1.5 more seconds and that tower would have gotten taken out. So that just demonstrates the skill that these guys have right now. Just the absolute precision between
Skill
these
and
players.
confidence.
Yep.
In the background, while we're watching this, Surgical is starting up against Casio_YouTube. And if you guys are watching on the stream, !bracket, and you could follow along. You could see how these players made it to the final in their whatever wave they were in, 1 through 4. And then you could see how the finals are playing out throughout the day.
Yeah. Looks like they're ready for a match. We're going to be jumping in right now.
Here we go.
B Village with a thumbs up. Prokul responding with appropriate good manners.
Was it appropriate? Wow.
That's arguable.
So
Procol has a
that's
cannon this time to counter the Expo. That's very interesting.
That's the first cannon counter we've seen against an
Is
Expo.
that cannon
but
going to
look
take
at
out the
that.
Expo for a positive elixir trade? It did get one hit though, so
I mean, if you put anything in front of the Expo, the cannon goes down. But in
Yeah.
that instance right there, that was perfect.
he just knew that B
He,
Village
he
didn't
had
have
to have
anything.
tried that before.
He just knew that B Village wasn't going to protect it with guards.
Yeah.
Just an amazing play right there. These guys they know what card rotation that both they and their opponents are on.
A Lava Hound cannon deck. That's awesome.
Interesting that he has a cannon over a Tombstone in his Lava Hound deck.
All right, splitting up the skeleton army, but then he's got a nasty guard going on in front of that Expo.
Look at that value fireball. This gives no chance for that Mega Minion to chip away at that Lava Hound. So B Village did get a lot of Expo damage, but he's going to have to deal with that Lava Hound push right now.
The one minion right behind becomes the target of the tower as the Lava Hound pops. The pops will take out the Mega Minion, dealing a decent amount of damage.
Not quite one hit with that Ice Spirit. Even though that Miner went in there to support those pups, that was a very good defense.
Both players even, dead even here on Elixir.
B Village with a slight advantage just because of that Expo right there. And he predicts with the Skeleton Army.
They were at the exact same time that drop.
That is crazy. Procol knew that he had an Expo because he knew that it was within back in rotation and that he had that 10 Elixir.
Oh, even with a sliver of health, that Expo's going to do some work. Look at that. It has 0 health, and it took it down 400 with just that sliver.
It's double Elixir time now, so it could be anything. With one big Lava Hound push, it could change the dynamic of this entire game. Going in with that aggressive Lava Hound in the center. Again,
Let's see
countering
if
the
B
cannon.
Village will. He adds an Ice Golem and an Ice Spirit to retarget the cannon. That's going to add some extra value to his Expo. Oh, look at that pull.
B Village showing his Inferno Tower for the first time. There's no chance that Lava Hound is going to get past the tower to tank for anything. That Expo is still up, chipping away at Procol's tower.
We said early on in the tournament that we were looking for more Expo, and it was weird that people weren't using it. B Village is doing a great job of demonstrating just how powerful it is right now.
Just amazing plays back and forth right now. With B Village using a very low-cost Elixir deck, he's just cycling back to the Expo with the 2 Elixir Ice Golem, 1 Elixir Ice Spirit, and there's just so much pressure. There's not enough time for Procol to react to that. So, best out of 5, the score is now 2-1 for B Village.
Oh, and he is building a village with the Expo and the Inferno Tower being the key components.
I don't miss those villages with Goblin Huts and the Teslas that you had.
Yeah, you can make you can make a playground, and the furnace has like a ladder going up the side. It's just a party of buildings over there.
I don't miss the March Clash Royale meta.
So let's see if he sticks with it for the 3rd time to go for his 3rd win. I like Procol with his rocket deck better, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
He seemed more in control.
He was a lot more confident with that. And
Yeah.
that he did demonstrate the rocket abilities in the first group that he was qualifying in.
But you guys have to remember, like, these guys, it's their first match of the day. They're in the main stage. The other people get to kind of just huddle into their cushiony corners on the pillows. It's a lot of pressure being Procol right now, knowing that one loss and you just lost this round.
He does have a chance to come back. If he can win this one, it'll be a tie.
Yeah.
So
Let's witness a double or nothing. B Village, I actually see him scrolling through his deck right now.
he's trying to counter the counter to his counter right now.
Yeah. It's a mind game.
It's like, I know that you're going to play rock, so we're going to play paper, and then you're going to play scissors, so then I'm going to play rock on your rock.
I think the best thing is to always just go back to what you were initially going to do.
Yeah, not to overthink it. So we're going to be jumping into the first match.
All right, guys, in the chat, either give some B Village or some Procol hype. Who do you think is going to pull away with this one? Immediate Expo.
That value log right there, it stops the Ice Spirit from targeting, from the Inferno Tower targeting the Expo.
Wow. That Expo is unstoppable. He's going with the Miner again. Instead of the cannon, looks like he brought the Inferno.
Looks like he didn't have many responses to that, so he had to use a Miner to take down that Expo. So it did stop too much damage from being done. The Expo still did a little bit over 600 damage.
Unless he mixed up those last 3 cards in his deck, this looks like the first matchup where Procol just couldn't get through the Expo.
Again with the Expo, cycling back. He's only using those 4 cards. Ice Spirit, Ice Golem, Log to cycle back. Forcing Procol to use that Rocket right there. That Expo still does a couple hundred damage, but not too much. I'd say that was a very good value Rocket because it did take out the shields from the guards, allowing the tower to just snipe away at those last skeletons.
Is there any card you would add if you just got beat twice by an Expo and you're having difficulty? Is there just one card you think you could change out, or would the deck just completely change?
I think that his deck is actually very good right now. It's just sometimes it's not even a matter of decks that these players are using. It's rather their card rotation and who can get the other opponent on their rotation instead. Because the Inferno Tower does counter it very well, but then B Village is countering that counter with guards. Again,
Mega
cycling
Minion.
back.
Having to arrow the Mega Minion, but
This-
any damage will make it not get to the tower. So that's okay. I mean, he's caught up a little bit. The Expo hasn't done much since that big hit.
Just lots of back and forth between the two players. B Village is going to play an Expo, and then Procol is either going to play an Inferno or a Rocket. Looks like with that Ice Golem positioning, he's going to be planting an Expo very soon once it reaches the front of that Expo.
Oh, this is a good triple hit setup right here for a Rocket. If we do see it, will a Rocket come out?
He did not have enough elixir to rocket it in
there
time.
it goes finally. And the Expo and Ice Golem go down.
So that Inferno Tower that Procol did play did absorb some damage from being done, so very good plays on his part right there. Slightly missing that Fireball, it does not chip the tower. That might cost him the game. These games are so close that even 100 damage could mean the difference between winning or losing.
I'd say they've really mastered the ability with their log here to turn guards into skeletons. They're taking their shields away, and they're just making it so the tower chips them off like it's nothing.
Yeah, Procol was forced to use the Mega Minion just to counter his Mega Minion right there.
Yeah, because the Ice Golem was tanking the tower too long, the Mega Minion wasn't going to be taking damage.
Exactly. Going
Yeah, I
in
mean,
with the prediction log.
once those guards don't have shields, it shuts down. Because if you had guards with shields, a Mega Minion and a Miner coming in, oh, that's a good Rocket. So the Expo, after it targeted the Ice Spirit, did just less than 100. That's pretty interesting.
It is a very close match right now. He's going in with that prediction log. It's going to clip one guard, which is not going to be enough to
Yeah.
quite penetrate through that defense.
And a little sliver of the Ice Golem. The Rocket goes out. Ice Golem doesn't hit any of it. He missed it all. Ouch.
Rocket does have the smallest radius, and looks like that is good game.
That's going to be game. That one Rocket, maybe if he would have got all 3 there, he could have had one good counter, but that's difficult.
It's understandable. He's on the stand right now, and the camera is pointed at him and everything, and he's playing
Yeah.
on the iPhone. Like you were saying earlier, it's a little bit less precise.
Yeah. I like the precision of a big screen. That comes with a little bit of a delayed reaction time. So if you choose one or the other, he's doing what he's comfortable with, but
Yep.
fortunately grabbing his bag and heading out to the crowd.
Unfortunately, that was his first misplay of this entire tournament.
Yeah,
But
it was flawless on day 1, but it just goes to show you how much more intense these final 16 players are going to be, as opposed to what we've seen the last
he
couple
was doing
days.
very well too. Just that one misclick.
Yeah. And
Every time the Expo was only dealing 100 damage with the rocket counter every single time, and B Village was doing a great job of controlling Procol's rocket from not reaching his tower. In a
And-
sense, he was almost baiting it out.
Yeah, and I'd say in another life that could have gone the other way. Every tournament's going to be different. This one doesn't require you to win with more than one deck. If B Village isn't that good with anything but the Mortar, or Expo, sorry, maybe Procol comes back.
Yep.
You never know. We're going to be pulling more and more matches here throughout the day. I believe it's going to be a little quicker than the previous couple days here. So we're going to just figure out what's going on next.
It is best of 5 with the 5 rounds again, right? With the Swiss bracket.
I don't know. He looked like he walked away like he was eliminated, but we just got to get a little clarity before midday when we get to those finals. So
Yep.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I'd assume with only 16 players, if they're dropping after one game, that's going to be way too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, our next players are already taking their seats. Let's go ahead. We'll pull up the. You can grab some standings over there, and then go up to the top, and we can see who these final 16 are. All right, pulling this up. You're on Group 4. Just click Clash Royale up top. There, I'll go ahead and grab it. Clash Royale. And then we're going to go Grand Final.
And by the way, you guys can check this in the chat too. Just
Yeah,
in the chat.
exclamation point, bracket. So you guys can see right here we've got Procol B Village. So it literally is just bracketed finals.
Yep.
Okay, so Procol V Village, we just watched that one there, and you can see the times here. We're going to have 3 or 4 in this 9:30 hour, half hour, 45 minutes. We have to do these 4, and then 45 minutes to do these, and then the next round starts up at 11. So we're going to be going nonstop, it looks like, until 3. That's when we're going to be seeing these finals. We have B Village. Next up, we've got, who are we going to be watching here? Is that Max?
Master Mateo.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, yes, that is. We were correct there. Players are just taking their seats. Let me get this over here.
Looks like they're just checking out their decks right now, but it's going to be very interesting there. Do you think they're going to be playing the same deck that they were comfortable with on the...
I don't know, because did B Village use the Expo that consistently or that frequently in that the other round?
I don't believe that he did.
Yeah,
in
me
the last-
neither.
But I'm very confident that he did use the Expo just because he knew that there's going to be a rocket coming up.
Yeah. We also have Elish and Baby Star in this first one, and Surgical and Casio. But we're going to be pulling up Max, and who's he facing?
Madge.
Max and Madge. Given their waves, their friendly waves. It's a
Yeah.
friendly battle after all.
It is.
Only for $5,000.
I have a feeling that the King's Cup is going to be even more friendlier.
Oh, guess what I got today?
Not Graveyard. I don't even... Actually, I just got the Inferno Dragon 5 minutes ago.
Why? We were sitting right here 5 minutes ago.
It was in the shop.
Really?
Yep.
What? That's your second to last legendary needed to be obtained.
Just in time for the giant meta to be obsolete, so...
All right, we're wrong on all that. We're watching Super and Mac.
Looks like they're going to be changing it up a bit, so it's, like you said, Super and Macdoy.
All right, as they load up here, let's see what decks are going to be in round number 2. A little bit of confetti flying.
Going again with that Archer split.
That's
It's going to be
gonna-
very hard to Lightning and Archer split right there.
You took the words out of my mouth, but can we get a skeleton rotation going on?
You and that skeleton rotation. If he gets... Macdoy's sitting at 10 Elixir. I wonder what is going on. He's going to plant the
Oh, he's got a
Baby
Golem
Dragon.
deck for sure. Archer's Baby Dragon.
You heard it here first. Nick is the master of prediction.
I wouldn't be surprised if they both have Golem decks.
It looks like they do.
Yeah. The Archer's an Ice Golem. Oh, man, unfortunately we won't get... but we've got the Golem coming on the lane naked, as you could say, with a Tombstone. What's going to be added to that? The Mega Minion will start doing some work. And then the Tombstone will pull, oh man, both air units. He waits patiently with the Lightning Spell, clips the Mega Minion, Baby Dragon, and the Golem. Archer's
That value
getting
arrows
arrowed.
right there. It takes out the Baby Dragon and chips that Archer so that Ice Spear can take it out so that Golem doesn't do much damage to the tower. But it is a slight advantage right here.
Yeah, I mean, if you stop a Golem push and you're taking less than 200 and some damage,
Yep.
I'd call that a very successful stop.
With 30 seconds left before overtime, this could get very heated. One thing that I've been noticing in these matches is that the Tombstone will always be planted before the Ice Golem, just because of that huge disadvantage. Like I said, right there, getting ready for the Golem.
Double Golems. I like the Golem versus Golem matches. They're pretty crazy. So you can see Mac going for the behind King Tower and Super going for the corner plant. I assume the King Towers being further back adds a couple seconds. What do you know anything about that pathing? It's very subtle, if anything.
It is. It's a little bit more conservative, but it's very defensive. It buys them more time.
Yeah. You gotta assume that Lightning Spell will come out soon with the Baby Dragon and Mega Minion chilling right on that Golem.
And that Baby Dragon did take out some skeletons from the Tombstone, so that Ice Golem is still alive. Going in for the value arrows, the Golem still does death damage to that tower, so the Mega Minion's going to go in. It's going to be a very heavy stalemate right now. Super going with that Tombstone because he's at 10 Elixir. He's going to be planting down that Golem very soon.
If you're Mac and you've been fighting on your side, the Golem's only making it to your tower. This will be the one that'll be a little different here. The Baby Dragon just eliminated the Tombstone, and then the Golems went down at the same time. But how do you get this battle to flip to where your Golem is fighting on their side instead of taking it on defense the whole time?
It's going to be a little bit more defensive right now. Just Super doesn't have low-cost cards like Ice Spirit and Skeletons to rotate back to the Tombstone in time to pull that Golem. So that Golem might end up dealing quite a bit of damage But
I think Super has lightning. He has not yet shown it to us yet.
they're both waiting for the perfect opportunity to lightning maybe Baby Dragon and the tower.
But I see 2 archers in the tower, so I'm confused on the delay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Look at this madness happening in the right lane. Can you even see what interaction's going
How-
to come out on top?
How are they able to put so many units in the
It's
arena
just-
right now without an elixir pump? This is insane right now. Baby Dragon versus Baby Dragon. It's a very close match. Nothing happens in there, but Super is somehow managing to chip the tower a little bit, but not enough.
3 archers and an ice golem.
He needs lightning to take out those 3 archers right now.
I'm loving the amount of archers we've been seeing.
Very value arrows right there because
Yeah.
it did take out one of the archers, so that Mega Minion did end up defending enough.
These guys know this deck very well, and you can tell. The fact that they can eliminate damage completely for Super up top and partially on the bottom with just a tombstone against a golem means you know what's going on.
Golem on golem action right now. Looks like this might actually be the first draw we've seen all week. If none of these players make any mistakes.
Oh man, that golem is very close to that tower, but the skeletons will pop it, but it will hit the tower with its death damage.
Just so much damage. Those golemites punching is going to be very expensive right now.
Yeah, we have not seen a draw. There's the quad archers on defense. That's going to shut down almost everything coming in. The Baby Dragon, oh man, and then he blocks the Baby Dragon, the one unit that could possibly end them.
Those archers
This is a great counter right
stacking
now.
up. He was forced to use lightning for the first time to take out those archers because he couldn't take it out with the Mega Minion with the golem in the front.
Can you imagine a 4 archer type of card behind a golem? How
Yeah.
crazy that would be?
So what we've been seeing is that Super has been slowly chipping away with the golem slowly reaching the tower and dealing death damage. But with 1 minute and 20 seconds, do you think that the golem could finish off that tower provided the rate that they're playing right now?
We haven't seen more than, I'd say, 300 to 400 damage. The golems have been getting there with some death damage. Maybe that last one was the most Super had done, but at this rate, no, I'd say.
Yeah,
There comes
unless
the
they
tomb.
make a mistake. I
We're-
agree with you there.
No tombstone. Oh, there's the tombstone, finally.
Very last minute tombstone. Looks like that golem might reach the tower for the first time.
Like right there on defense, if the golem pops before it gets the tombstone out of the way, it's not going to do much at all. But look at how much Mac's biggest push comes in the final minute,
And with that,
almost catching up. And now he can lightning if he wants to get the archer. And Mega Minion. Sorry
very
for we.
close play, but
That's
Mac
our one
did.
joke of this tournament.
It's a half joke because it has
It
been
is.
proven to be very effective.
We've seen entire put. Oh,
Going in again, MacDoy did have a very successful push there, dealing 900 damage to the tower, but it's not going to be enough with 20 seconds left in the map. And that golem goes straight to the tower. That could be potential trouble, but his death damage doesn't reach the tower.
and that's going to be what causes the draw. Wow, our first draw, it comes with 2 golem decks where both players very good at what they're executing here. Archers, baby dragons, and golems.
That's
Such a crazy combo.
we
It
could
makes sense.
possibly be expecting more draws from this final day with the top 16 players. Just
Yeah.
with these flawless plays, then making 0 mistakes.
Yeah, it makes
And-
sense that today would be the day that we do see him, and when we do.
Yep. And what I love about the deck is that archers are such a great and versatile card that not a lot of people realize or respect. Just because you can't zap it, you can't arrow it, and in fact, you have to lightning it.
Yeah, that's the only spell that makes sense other than just a straight up rocket. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, why would you need rocket? That's
It's not like 6 elixir. Use a lightning.
yeah.
I'd say a furnace could also be pretty good against the archers.
Yeah. So they are jumping into another match right now.
When you have a golem up in front. Yeah, so we're pulling in match numbers 1 again. I was going to say 0. Still 0-0, and we see a change of pace from Mac with the Goblin Barrel.
MacDoy playing the Goblin Barrel deck that got him to where he is today. Slowly chipping away that golem does nothing to stop those goblins.
Oh, is that Inferno too far back? No, it's not. Wow. That's very far back. But
Look at that Ice Golem. That death damage is going to deal 30 damage to the tower. The Mega Minion's going to penetrate through with the Princess not locking onto the Mega Minion. That could be
Oh.
trouble, but he plants
forced
skeletons.
to use the skeleton army.
Wow. Going in for that log. Takes
Block.
out the Princess. It does not.
No. One tile
One
tile
tile.
off.
So we do need to see log get buffed one more tile, obviously.
To make plays like that possible.
Yep.
The princess is on the tower, and the skeletons, they'll take her out
Super
quick.
did plant that tombstone half a millisecond too late for that Princess. So that Princess got so much damage on that tower.
Half a millisecond.
Exactly.
That's some absolute value right there.
I'm going to have more of those gems today.
Today we're pulling out all. Golem isn't. A lot of people in the chat arguing Golem is not meta yet. How do you feel about that?
I feel like with the way that these guys are playing the Golem, they will prove to the world that the Golem is, again, a viable card to use, despite having that 11th Elixir removed from the game.
I'm not going to lie, the Golem, look at that red coming in right there. He always looks like he's wearing sunglasses. Right? Just the card art.
Now let's see that with the death damage of the Golem. Will they kill any of the minions? Or will the minions just fly away? It does take one minion. And just look at that Archer.
Just picking off minion after minion.
Yeah. And that was just so perfect with the recent balance change with the death damage affecting air. There's exactly enough of that Archer to be able to take out 4 of the minions.
Mac knows the log was recently used, so he sends Skeleton Army and Miner in for actually pretty good damage.
Again, like we're saying, these guys are so good at counting Elixir and card rotation of their opponents.
Yep. We haven't seen the Baby Dragon deployed on Super side, and he's got to have it. That's the same deck.
So Macdo did plant down that Goblin Barrel just because he knew that his opponent didn't have enough Elixir because he overcommitted with the Golem right there. Inferno and minions to go for that Golem, there's not going to be much chance for him to get through that defense. Going with that Fireball, if it was only half a second later, it would have clipped that Mega Minion as well.
That's interesting, though. Why don't you think we're seeing much Baby Dragon when there's a Skeleton Army, a Minion Horde, and a Goblin Barrel being used against Super?
That was a very close play right there. Macdoy reveals Zap for the first time to retarget the Mega Minion and get the Fireball onto that tower.
Wow.
His Mega Minion almost took out the tower right there. But sorry, I interrupted you. What was your question?
Why do you think we failed to see a Baby Dragon come out of Super's deck with Skeleton Army, Minion Horde, and Goblin Barrel all coming at him that whole match?
Maybe he had something else.
Let's just check, because we can check here really quick.
He did not have a Baby Dragon.
Oh, wow. I don't want to reveal that because if he likes that deck, that's why he didn't use it. That makes total sense
We'll have
now.
we'll have to hold that for a surprise for the audience.
In case, once this series ends, we could tell you about that deck. But just in case something happens, we don't want any information to be relayed.
So they're both sitting at 10 Elixir, waiting for the first move so that they can counter their opponent's
What
move.
a fun card he couldn't use, though.
Yep. And for everyone that's just tuning in today that hasn't been watching the last few days, Graveyard is banned from this tournament. It's just too much of a wild card. It's too new to learn how to counter.
Now we see the Baby Dragon
Interesting. It looks like he might have swapped it out.
because he knew that was his weakness. But then we're seeing the change of deck on Mac as well.
It looks like they're both consistently playing the Golem deck. These are the same Golem decks that they used to get to where they are now in the finals. The final bracket, that is.
Oh my gosh, that Golem just unhindered walking up to that tower.
The death damage just deals so much.
And knocks the Baby Dragon, and the Mega Minion takes death damage from the Golemite as well.
That was a very interesting air knockback. So that distracted that Mega Minion. It wasn't able to reach the second one because of that knockback that you were mentioning.
Max up 1-0, but he's not liking the start of this one, you could tell.
Super going in with an Ice Golem from the back.
He's going to try Golem in the opposite lane.
It looks like that might be a good choice because on the left side, he does have lower health on the tower. So he's going to try and pressure the other side rather than giving his opponent an opportunity to counter push with the residual troops.
This is just scary, though. Seeing that Golem come at your tombstone, that's one hit, and then he's going to go right to the tower after. You have to assume this is at least going to be at 500 damage on the tower. There's 2.
And very
There's
rarely
3,
do you see
4,
that the Ice Golem deals so
5,
much.
6, 7, almost 800 damage in there.
That Ice Golem, despite it being one of the weakest cards in the game, it actually did a few hundred damage to the tower. And with Macdo's Golem on the right side, it did no damage.
That's why the opposite lane was too scary for me when I saw it, because part of the reason you would go same lane is to get everything that's behind the Golem off your tower, and I don't know, that's tough.
That's right, and looks like Macdo is very scared on the left side, so he's going in for a very aggressive a split push on the left side, but that Baby Dragon's going to get shut down very quickly.
He's letting those golems just walk straight up to his tower, but I guess so is Super right now. It's weird. They're not pulling it as hard.
This is looking like a very bad for McDoy right now because there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Super does have an 8th card left to be revealed. It is
The
99%
lightning for
chance for lightning.
346.
346 damage is all we need from that lightning card. Super's going to wait right there
Boom, and
for
there it goes.
that game.
1-1 after a 6-minute draw.
These matches are very intense. I mean,
Yeah.
the last few days you could see a bit of a skill gap where you would see landslide victories 3-0, but
Yeah.
these players are the best of.
The decks they're using right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, so overall, how close to the time was that? How deep into overtime, do you know?
It was
right at
at 3 minutes.
regulation. Okay, so we've had over 9 or 12 minutes of battles. It's still 1-1.
1-1. Again, best of 5 for everyone that's tuning in. McDoy going in with what he knows best with the Goblin Barrel. It does get that Ice Golem distracts one Goblin from the tower.
He's been using the Ice Golem a lot when he sees the Goblin Barrel.
Yep.
You think that's enough? Because look how much damage he took with
That's
it.
a value fireball right there. It's
Oh, we've been saying everyone should Lightning Archers. It's the Fireball, which isn't as common right now because of Lightning.
yeah. And
It's probably the best thing you could have.
we're starting to see a lot more fireball in competitive play just because of the poison nerf. It just doesn't provide enough value right now.
Yeah. Oh, those 2 minions are just ripping that
That-
tower apart.
It looks like he didn't have much in rotation to counter that. That minion does take out the tower in 40 seconds in.
Wow. Under
Wow.
a minute. Mac up 1-0. And it's going to be all Super this next 2 minutes here trying to get this Golem to work for him. But this was the deck that he lost against, so we'll see. He has rotated out at least one card because we see the Baby Dragon. In the battle that he lost, there was no Baby Dragon.
He does have enough elixir for the lightning. He goes in to kill the princess and stun the Inferno Tower. But that Inferno Tower could have been stunned a little bit later. Does take out the Golem right there.
The Golemite split towers.
Look at his Infernal placement. That was very intentional to get that Golem to split like that. But with a minute and a half, do you think McDoy could chip enough? Again for a second tower. He does have lane control.
I don't know. Do you keep going in? Or I guess once you see the Golem, maybe go the other way?
Yeah, or McDoy could just be playing extremely defensive right now. We could see that if he's going to be planting an Inferno Tower early to rotate. He does not. He goes in for the Goblin Barrel Miner.
There's the log, but that means he can't use it against the Skeleton Army if the Golem comes in.
I could see the Skeleton Army being played very soon once that Tombstone expires. Or just to counter that Golem right now.
Yeah, so if you're Super, you can't send the Golem down the lane where your tower's gone because then the pressure's going to come to your other arena tower. It's harder for Mac to get to the King Tower, so he has to keep playing this lane, which is just another benefit for Mac setting up the Inferno and Princess.
Very interesting that he's going in for an early Lightning
Should
because
have the log back again.
going in Inferno Tower and Skeleton Army, there's no chance that Golem is going to reach the tower, but the Golemite does get one punch off, which is minuscule.
And now he can get back to his Inferno with 7 or so elixir, maybe 8, but he's going to be able to
21.
put 2 down within one Golem push.
Yep. With 18 seconds left on the clock, there doesn't look like there's enough chance to cycle enough lightnings for Super to get to take out that tower.
And that's going to be it. So Mac, he's got this deck that he's got 2 wins with. Super 1, and now we're 2-1 after 4 matches, one of which was a draw. Heading in, and Mac has the opportunity to advance on into the further brackets here as a winner if he takes the next one in this best of 5. So Golems, I don't know, it's kind of like both players are struggling with the Golem because they know the Golem deck so well.
Yeah, it's been such incredible plays right now. What happened was that McDoy caught him off guard. He didn't have the proper rotation. Obviously, he didn't have the log in rotation to counter that, or not the log, but the proper units to counter that early minion horde that bypassed everything with the miner supported. Taking the tower 40 seconds into the game.
Game 4, Max playing for the win of the whole match right now. Super playing to stay in it.
Going with the minion horde to counter the Goblin Barrel, it still did quite a bit of damage to that tower. Unfortunately, that miner doesn't target the princess, so he's going to use arrows for value right there.
Minions, tower, and princess.
Would you say those arrows were a positive?
Elixir trade.
Yes, I would.
I don't. What's the next step up from a positive elixir trade?
You can't transcend that. That's the benchmark right there.
There's nothing mightier.
Very interesting that McDoy is choosing to use Fireball to take out the Tombstone early, just because he knows he has something up his sleeve like
And this is
Lava
the first
Hound.
time we're seeing the Lava Hound out of Super, so you got to appreciate that.
The Lava Hound is just such a well-balanced card at tournament standard.
It's a card you can rely on.
Absolutely. That Mega Minion's going to take out that Inferno before it can do much damage to reach Tier 3 on that Lava Hound.
And we know a lot of the time that Inferno plant right there is just so it can also tank the pups.
And that was a very cool compromise that Super decided to do there, where he arrowed the Princess, but
And
could
some
not,
of the Horde.
Yeah, he could not reach the whole Horde.
Yeah. Early zap on those minions, but
Will he go in with a value miner for...
no, doesn't push it. All right, what's Mac? He has a skeleton army. He has no reason to play it so far, unless
Yep.
he sees the miner. He must have not had it on that first rotation. We haven't seen the miner since.
This is going to be a very big push. With Super at 10 Elixir, he's going to bank with a Tombstone, so he's going to have more Elixir on the map. 5 seconds before overtime. I'm expecting to see a Lava Hound very soon, but McDoy does not let him play that Tombstone.
You got to assume maybe, Hound's coming in, and then the miner will be ready.
Without a Tombstone, so this is going to be a little bit easier for McDoy to
And his
defend with an
lightning is
Inferno.
ready now. Will the lightning come down? Yes, it will.
But it's not going to do much just because that Mega Minion did distract the other minions.
This could have played very differently if Mac only had minions instead of minion horde. There's been a couple remaining minions in every horde that has been taken out that
And-
have been made clutch defenses.
Super was a little bit eager on that Miner Plant, so he didn't target the Princess.
Ooh, maybe 2 tiles left more on those goblins, and those arrows would have missed.
Oh, that was such a clutch Fireball. The Mega Minion was just barely within range. Just demonstrates how much skill these players truly have.
The skeleton army, but it's in the back, and the miners up front. They're going to end up taking it out, but still.
Such a close play right now, but just as a reminder to everyone, the Lightning does 347 damage to the tower, so Super is going to have a hard time.
Wow, what a fireball. Takes out the minion horde, actually goes for the tower after 1 goblin stab. He doesn't even need a lightning. Wow. He doesn't actually have a lightning, but the Lava Hound deck did. That was close. He needed 2 lightnings, Super, to clutch that tower, but the fireball goblin barrel catching the minion horde ends it.
It was just such a close play between the two, but he just had a little bit more chip damage
Yeah.
in there.
He was able to just not let him really set up the Lava Hound push, despite, that one time where the Inferno was taken out by the Mega Minion, that could have been trouble. But when Super decided to clip some minions and the Princess because of the distance,
Yeah.
it makes a difference. So if he takes all the minions and the Princess is up, the tower can one-shot the pups.
That Princess just provides so much value because you need to plant a unit to address it now, whereas with 2
Yeah.
minions coming in, the tower can just kind of snipe it away.
Yeah. And the 2 minions, you will get a little more tower damage because the tower has to multi-shot the pups versus a Princess raining down fiery arrows. So we're going to take a look. You want to pull the... Yeah, we could look at the bracket. We'll refresh that right here. So you can see B Village went on, and Baby Star went on 3-0. B Village went on 3-1. They'll be playing later today at 11. It is currently 10:30. So Surgical goes on 3-1. These are all the matchups we expected pretty much, right?
Yep.
Wow.
And it looks like
So we're going to be tuning in with Surgical and Max coming up next. Now here's one thing. Procol B Village, that's tough. B Village moves on. Baby Star, Surgical. That's the matchup at the end of yesterday. And
Yep.
by chance, they have to play before the final today. That could very well have been the final. We'll see if Baby Star and B Village, how that
could
one
have been the
ends
final.
up.
So
And
it does
then-
look like Pavelfi from Orange Juice did get eliminated very early, but he did very well.
From a Spanish player. So
Yep.
we'll see how the rest of it plays out. But yeah, good plays overall across the brackets today. It's going to be interesting. There's obviously favorites, but brackets are meant to be busted. What can you say?
Just
Does anybody say that? I say it.
it makes sense. Like they're bees.
Like hornets or like wasps.
Killer bees.
All right, so
So anyways, the opponents are just kind of setting up right now. They're
Yeah.
checking out who's going to be the next on the podium. And to be honest, if I was playing in these tournaments, I would prefer to just be in my comfy little cushion over there.
yeah, it's so much easier to play, whether you're at home playing in a tournament that maybe a YouTuber or someone else hosts, or you just have a place where you're comfortable. It's just not comfortable sitting in a chair like that, having people with eyes on you, having cameras on you. and us talking. They know we're talking about them. And we're just
We're talking
analyzing.
smack about them right now.
Oh yeah, we rip into everyone here. This
Yep.
is hypercritical analyzation desk. It's all friendly. Obviously, people
Yeah.
are waving at us as they walk by. There's zero tension, but there's a lot of pressure. I remember hearing Surgical yesterday before his match that he dominated pretty much at the end there, but he said he's very nervous, but he's just going to play what he knows how to play and see how it goes. And we're about to see him again. You got to assume that. Best of luck to you, but you got to assume these people are feeling it right now. Anything to add to that? How are you going to cope with playing in the King's Cup? It's very difficult.
I'm not even going in for the prize. I'm just there to have fun.
I'm there to see the next tier of skill. This is 128 players. I think that was over 300. I've played in ones as small as 20 to 30 to 40,
Yep.
where someone has a deck that blows everyone away. It's kind of like where Jason, no one was really predicting that kind of deck. I played one where someone used a defensive mortar hog deck, and nobody was able to, by the time the tournament was over, adjust to it. It's just like that one person who comes in with something that isn't popular yet.
With the amount of cards that are existing in the game, there's about
Yeah.
48,000 combinations of decks that you could use. Obviously, probably 10,000 of them being all spells that you can't use, but there
Yeah.
are 48,000 permutations.
You weren't kidding with you're going to keep those absolute facts rolling, and you were just getting started.
Yes.
Yeah, they're only going to get more specific.
1.5 tiles here and there.
5 versus an 8.5.
So we're going to keep it a surprise for now, but it looks like it's going to be a very interesting match for what they're setting up right now. They're all just deciding on the deck. Should we just tell them?
Yeah,
So right up next is going to be Surgical Goblin.
I thought I told them that already.
Oh, I thought you were just waving at him.
Oh, no. I think I said that we're going to be tuning into Surgical next.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man. Do you
Well,
actually know where he's from? What country is he from? Let me just pull this up. Surgical is from... I can't even see these flags. Where's he from? Netherlands?
The flag is too small.
I can't see it.
Yeah, but if you guys want to check out the bracket, exclamation bracket in the chat, we'll pull up the link to the website.
All right, let's get our game back up. Where'd you go? How do I get it? Eh. All right, we'll bring that back up here as we jump in. No, wait, don't kick him. We're on a player profile right now. How funny would that be? You're out. All right, this
We
next
have the
one's going to
power.
be good. I'm starting to feel it now. I'm waking I'm feeling the vibes, the surge. You know when you get that little surge like right here, and then it moves up to here, and then you're just ready to just explode with commentary? That's what we're about to witness.
I'm not familiar with that feeling.
It's not a laughing matter. When we get to the finals on this main stage here, it's going to be legit. Yeah, Netherlands. Oh, let's see. Holland. Sweet. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is in Paris. La Paris. Later, Yarn and I are going to go take a beautiful selfie at the Eiffel.
Don't touch me there. So
Yeah,
they're just setting up.
We got like 2 minutes, so we could talk about Graveyard again.
We've been talking about Graveyard all day, but it's going to be very fun. You just got Graveyard.
The video's not out yet. No, it's going live very soon. Within, by the time we get to finals, I'll probably have posted that.
I
A
shouldn't have
very
said that.
weird way is how I got it. No, you could hype it up a little bit. I thought I was going to have to use something, and I didn't.
Not that something.
That's something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to resort to that.
What?
Fortunately, you didn't have to.
No, I did not. It was about to get there, though.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been great. I used it in tournaments with a skeleton army, a miner, princess. Actually, it's a 5 legendary deck: princess, ice wizard, log, graveyard. What's the last one? Miner? Did I say miner? Graveyard,
did.
miner, princess, log, ice wizard. There's
Ice
5
Wizard, that's the
legendaries,
one.
and then an inferno, a skeleton army. I forget the last card, but
So-
it's pretty filled
So
in.
you're running a Pentafecta right now.
Yeah, a Pentafect.
You're Dirty Gemmer.
No. It's funny because I didn't have to gem to get it. They'll find out soon.
Okay.
What average amount of legendaries do you feature in your decks that do have legendaries?
I usually like to have 2 to 4 legendaries. It's just so necessary to have in tournament play.
Yeah.
Just because they are legendary cards that are a little bit stronger than the rest of the cards.
The
And I like the
mechanics.
last updates where it's just so much easier to get. With each legendary coming out,
Yeah, it's almost like people say, "Oh no, another legendary," but they should be saying, "Oh yes," because my chest has a better chance of containing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Before the Graveyard came out, in Arena 9 Super Magical chest had a 55% chance of pulling a legendary.
There we go.
Whereas with the Graveyard coming out now there's a 60% chance. It just keeps increasing every time
Every
a new
single
legendary comes
time.
out. But one thing that a lot of people don't know is that when a new legendary comes out, it's not a 60% chance to pull any legendary. What that means is there's a 5% chance to pull a Graveyard, 5% chance to pull a Princess. So you're still going to have to buy or obtain a lot of those same chests to get for a chance to pull a Graveyard.
Yeah. But it's just cool to be obtaining
Yeah.
more and more legendaries.
But with a legendary chest appearing probably, within 1 in 500 chests.
yeah. We're jumping straight in. No time to even announce it. So Surgical and Max. Surgical's on the right, Max on the left. Surgical upright and ready as ever. Let's see what deck he'll be bringing.
Max going in with that defensive Ice Spirit in the back. It's going to get taken out by that Princess by Surgical. We already see some confetti from Surgical supporters. Look at that Ice
Was
Spirit
that-
just tanking that tower, and then the Miner just chipping away.
Was that Princess and Miner? That's his rocket deck, right?
It very well might be, unless he evolved it while we were sleeping.
Royal Giant. Okay, we have to see the Inferno Tower now. There it is. Right as he crosses the bridge, as it should be.
This is my first time seeing Royal Giant in high-level competitive play.
Really, I've been seeing a lot of it and been beaten by it quite a bit in challenges. It's starting to run rampant again.
It is, especially with the Expo back in the meta.
yeah,
It's just such a great answer to that.
it's better than the Bowler, I'd say.
Look at that. Max plants down that Knight because those archers wouldn't have been enough to shut down that Mega Minion for at least one shot.
And he's got a tutorial level push going on, Knight with archers behind it.
A tutorial level Knight. That actually is.
It is.
It
And
is.
then if he had arrows, it would be the next level right there.
Yep.
It's Knight, archers, giant, and fireball arrows, I think, are your first 5 cards you get.
Look at that Knight. It just got demolished by that Mega Minion. Ice Spirit versus Ice Spirit. Mega Minion does take out that Ice Spirit, but he's not going to have enough push to go in for that tower damage.
We could predict a Miner coming down the lane, yep, because otherwise the Mega Minion won't do anything
Surgical
to the tower.
always going in for that value Miner in there.
Oh.
It doesn't get one hit on, but he does make that noise.
He does make the noise. When he brings his arm back, it procs the noise and then the damage afterwards. It's an interesting combo.
Look at that Princess targeting onto the Royal Giant and splashes onto the archers for 2 hits, taking them out.
And then he retargets with the Ice Spirit, making the Royal Giant switch to the Inferno as it heats up on the Knight.
Just such close plays, and he did need that Mega Minion to kind of finish it off, going in for that value, but it's a little bit late because that tower targets onto the Mega Minion. and
I'd
the
say
Ice
this
Spirit.
is one of the least amount of rockets we've seen Surgical use in his rocket deck because of the pressure that Royal Giant's adding. If he rockets, the Royal Giant comes back, and that's no elixir.
That's right, and just that Inferno is just so costly. Backed up with that Mega Minion, he needs to address it with another Mega Minion, so he has no chance to build up a 10
Royal
elixir.
Giant Lightning.
Look at that Royal Giant just going in for all those hits right there.
So we're just over just over 2 lightnings on that tower right there. Sorry with that verbal math out loud, but the log could have made it exactly 2 lightnings, but he uses it on the Princess.
Every time there's a Princess that Surgical plays, Max is giving him no opportunity, immediately answering with a log.
Now, do you send the rocket here now? I don't think he can until it's the last hit on the tower.
He might have been a little conservative, saving his elixir for that Inferno because he knows that a Royal Giant is coming up with a bigger push.
And the hardest part about this is he has a zap and a lightning to reset the Inferno with the Royal Giant. Double ways to reset it.
So it looks like he's slowly chipping away with the Miner, just going back and forth, ruthlessly going in with that Miner and defending against the Royal Giant after that Miner.
And then he's also doing an amazing job of making sure that the log can't be used on the tower as well as a unit because he's putting his Princess out every time it's in rotation,
and-
limiting the ability to lightning log the tower.
Very interesting there where he chose to use the Lightning on the Princess rather than on the tower. If Surgical can go in for another defend, we're going to be expecting a Royal Giant in front, supporting that Mega Minion again there on the same rotation, taking out the Princess with the log. He doesn't go in for a Royal Giant because he didn't have enough elixir.
I feel like Surgical initially was a little confused by the Royal Giant. He's figured it out now and hasn't suffered nearly any damage
Exactly,
since,
after-
and now he can rock it for the win.
If he has a Rocket. So that Miner is going in, that Royal Giant chipping away. Now we see the
Here it
Rocket
comes.
going in for the win. That was such an amazing play by Surgical Goblin.
And he breathes a sigh of relief, but what if the lightning came down on that tower? It was within lightning damage.
275. The
that
Lightning
could
being
have gone
346.
either way right there. Holy
That
cow.
was so close.
He threw the rocket and sat up and went,
I'm
"Whew."
done. That was such a close match. And like you were saying earlier, that Surgical started figuring out the Royal Giant, and now after
You could
after
tell how
after
comfortable
4
at the end
plays,
he was
then
with it. Yeah.
Surgical was manipulating the plays so that now the Royal Giant was on his rotation.
I mean, how well does he know his deck to where a Knight, Royal Giant, and Mega Minion are in front of your tower and you're totally fine defending that every time?
Just look at the adaptability that they had live in game.
Yeah.
Right there.
We saw a different Surgical start that match as well as end it.
If you kind of saw where Surgical just wasn't dealing as much damage, the Royal Giant was dealing 100 damage more every time they were exchanging those counter pushes, every time. And then right midway through,
I was just saying, match number 2 underway now.
oh,
Finish your thought, though, because we're jumping in.
into the match.
No, you were about to say the ending to your sentence. All right. So there's a Mega Minion doing princess things.
Mega Minion doing princess things?
All right, how do you
We'll
think
go
he's
with
going
that.
to deal with that Mega Minion? Is there going to be a Royal Giant underneath it?
With a Knight in.
No, but it
back.
looks like the same decks. I mean, that's risky if you're Max, in my opinion, because Surgical's figured it out. You either make a new way to make that Royal Giant get to the tower, or you don't waste any lightning spells on anything but tower and Inferno.
Yeah, and if you notice in the bottom right corner, Surgical's Miner did the full 500 Miner damage just because it was left unattended.
And now he's using the Princess to get one chip shot because it's as good as sending in his Miner. And oh man,
He does have Inferno Tower to answer that Royal Giant. Plants it on the side just so that the Mega Minion won't be within range to target it.
and then the Knight. We were just saying before the stream started earlier, the Knight is super good value.
It's so averagely good.
It's just like the Archers, and then we're seeing all of them.
Imagine if the Mega Minion was always in the game, but the Knight was just released in place of that Mega Minion, everybody would be using the Knight.
Yeah. It's like they found a way to re-love the card they already know is in the game, but they
Yeah.
don't know.
So Max didn't answer that Princess with a log. Instead, he chose to use a Mega Minion, which forced Surgical to play an Ice Spirit. But again, that Ice Spirit brings the Miner back into rotation. Max mispredicts that Miner, and the Knight has to walk all the way to the back. The Miner got so many shovel swings on.
And the Knight, just like the Mega Minion, as similar as the cards are, both take a long time if you mess up the placement.
It does. They're both very slow units, but they provide so much value. And that Inferno Tower is just a little bit too far for those archers to reach.
So they're going the long way home, and look at that.
Look at that
Split
again, just like in
archers.
the last game. Surgical has adapted to that. He planted the Inferno a little bit too far forward, and he learned his lesson that first time.
That Knight was placed, and it grabbed the Miner, distracted the Knight, incoming Knight, and the log took out the Princess. He's
Very-
forced to rocket on defense.
Very good rocket. That's our first time seeing Max playing the Lightning.
And the Lightning would have been very good there, except for the Ice Spirit stopping that Royal Giant for still 2 seconds, soon to be 1.5.
That Princess getting that one hit on the tower. If this Miner can bring it down to rocket damage, it's going to be very deadly.
Miner dealing 64 damage a swing. It's only a matter of time.
Eventually, he's going to have a hard time with that Royal Giant versus the Inferno Tower. We could expect to see... Oh, Lightning
Oh,
was
wow.
just too far from the tower.
But look at that, the Royal Giant bringing in about 160 damage-ish, a
But
shot
he
right
uses
there.
the log. He's going to use the rocket if he has 6 elixir.
Is it? I think it might be more than that. I might be getting that one wrong, but the rest of the stats, I'm dropping are straight fire. Here comes the rocket. That's going to end the game with 5
One swing on that Miner.
Oh,
so
man.
Rocket doing 490 damage.
Yeah. We've got a lot of the numbers down now. I mean, we're getting more and more of them. It's weird because you play more challenges, I'd have to say. I play more ladder. So I'm more familiar with that. 493 is the rocket damage. And then the only other one that we were slightly confused, what's the Royal Giant? Just to double fact check that one right there. He's going to be bringing in 159. I was saying 160, right?
Yeah.
When I looked at it, it looked like more, but yeah, it's about 160 every shot. It feels like more when you're suffering
Yeah.
the damage of one.
And when you're live in game and you don't quite remember how much damage your spell does to the tower, you can just kind of hold it and it'll pop up the exact stats.
I've recently switched to a device where you can pressure, like the force touch.
Yep.
And before I didn't. So I was used to holding it, and then after about a second and a half, it would pop up. But with force touch, you just push a little harder, and it like floats up.
Immediately.
It's a little weird to get
So
used
it
to.
pops up faster.
Yeah, but then if you push too hard and you meant to drag, you just checked the damage instead.
So would you say that's kind of a device advantage?
It takes a little bit of getting used to your device.
Okay.
It's kind of like if I switched to your phone and you switched to my phone today, we'd probably about drop by 10-15% on win rate.
I wouldn't even be able to text with your phone. It's, you know, when it's like a millimeter smaller.
Yeah. All right. Surgical up 2-0. Max has not made it easy.
Ice Spirit again.
He's playing the same way, using that princess. Just getting one volley of arrows off is all he really wants out of her.
That princess just slowly doing chip damage.
And not only the one volley, it requires something like a Mega Minion, which he doesn't want to use on a princess, and that just messes up his Royal Giant push. So it's all just the pressure.
And if you look at Surgical's playstyle, it's very similar to what I do, so I'm very familiar with this, where if you can get even one swing off the tower, that is already a victory.
So he drops a well played because the log pushed the miner back to retarget on the knight, saving him a little bit of tower damage right there.
With that Inferno there, Max doesn't have enough elixir for a lightning, so he has a zap. Mega Minion again in the middle. They're doing their Mega Minion tangos.
The Mega Minion tangos are very difficult. It seems like the Mega Minion is one of the most defended cards. Like, no one's going to let you get a Mega Minion in there if they can at all stop it.
So Max realizes that any chip damage he can't afford. He had to use the Ice Spirit to freeze that miner, then push that knight, plant that knight to push the miner in front, so that miner only got one hit off the tower.
Now I'm thinking if I'm Max, which in the game right now I probably wouldn't be able to break it down this in depth, but I'm going to overuse Elixir and try to prevent any damage on my tower because I'm going to have a better deck in double Elixir with the Royal Giant. You can get another card on there quicker.
Yeah. With that being said, then Surgical also has more Elixir to cycle back to that Inferno Tower with just the Ice Spirit and logs that he has.
Yeah, it's just Royal Giant Lightning is tough to put down. As you can see, it hasn't been used yet in regular Elixir time.
Oh, that log was a little bit early. That might cost him a little bit with that Mega Minion at full health. But the Knight is planted just in time to absorb that Mega Minion. So
with the help of the archers, goes down.
Yeah. Very interesting that Max is still deciding to pressure on the right side despite that Mega Minion on the left chipping Surgical's tower. He just has no choice because he needs to counter all these miners, then utilize the Knight to counter push.
That was a nice log. Ice Spirit cleaning up the Knight and taking out the Princess.
Such a value log. Miner going again, gets countered with archers and Mega Minion. It's still going to deal 2 swings on that tower. That Mega Minion didn't even get a hit on Max's Mega Minion, so he's forced to rocket everything for value right there.
Rocket on the archers. We were saying it also could be a viable strategy. The Princess tangoing with the Royal Giant, looking up at him with big eyes, but they're within 100 tower damage of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like anyone's blowing the other person out. The only problem is the rocket.
In my opinion, it looked like Surgical planted the Princess a little bit too early. If it's just half a second later, it would have gotten 1 hit off that tower, despite there being a log demolishing her.
Yeah, she was facing
like
Goliath right there, looking up at the Royal Giant. And now it's going to be 1 miner swing and a rocket. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I can't see the health of the tower.
530.
378.
Now there's enough rocket to go in.
There's the rocket going in. It's Surgical. Flawless.
Just amazing. 3-0 immediately in the beginning of the day.
That's 2 3-0 rounds for Surgical to start the day. Wow. He gives a thumbs up to the French casters on the other side of the wall from us, and just perfection. It's
so
making it look easy, and it's not. I tried the deck last night. It requires playing hundreds of thousands of matches like you've done with the Graveyard.
It's a very interesting match. Again, to remind everyone who Surgical Goblin is, he's won 6 tournaments from Clash with Ash.
Yeah.
6 tournaments in a row. He has won all of them.
Clash with Ash, very, sort of like you, very much likes breaking down strategies, metas, best practices, positive elixir trades, what works well against what. So more on the analysis side of the Clash Royale scene.
He does.
Yeah.
And just with Surgical having proven that deck so much, he knows the exact tiles, the exact placements of everything, the exact scenarios, the when to rock it defensively, when to rock it offensively, and never missing it and never rocketing the grass.
No. So we can pull up here who will be next. It looks like we might have Ming and QW. Oh, man.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, no, B Village is coming back up here. Yeah, he's going. And Babies. Okay, sweet. Yeah, they're just going up there right now to their chairs. So it's going to be B Village and Baby Star.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? Are you predicting another Baby Star surgical matchup?
I'm actually a little sad that Procol got eliminated so early because of that one misplay.
And they're all, these final 16 are all amazing, but the first matches that have been recorded and finished have all been 3-0 or 3-1. Someone's really had just something that couldn't be stopped.
Yep.
So we'll see. Baby Star just went 3-0. B Village went 3-1. But we saw two almost flawless players at the end of yesterday, and that ended 3-1 as well. So it's going to be fun to watch.
B
for
Village
sure.
looking very stressed out right now with a sigh of relief or a sigh of stress, whatever.
What was he doing?
He was just sighing and shaking and everything.
Shake it out. That's what, before the King's Cup, I'm going to get up there, shake it out, loose up the hands, quick drop, quick drop, quick drop. And watch me with my iPad Pro as other people are.
With your noise-canceling headphones, positive elixir trade, positive elixir trade, positive elixir trade.
Just throw that on repeat, baby. We're going to go back to this, and then we'll see. Yeah, so those were those surgical matches. They're going to be starting up any second now. Everybody who's just joining here, we are currently in round 2 of 5 for bracketed finals, with the Final Four being sent over to the main stage later on. That's going to be a joy to broadcast that part about it, but here we go. B Village in the chat drops a good luck. Good vibes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Before they're even in the match.
Yep. It looks like they're still kind of checking out their decks and everything.
Yeah. And then Baby Star, we saw the ability to change on the fly yesterday. So will he adapt if he does end up, unfortunately, going down a few games in this one? Who knows? It's tough to, with the variants and different decks completely, with 3 slots. 5 slots, visually looking, would fit without changing the UI much. That might be better for these kind of players, to have 5 where, like, it's the same Golem deck with an Inferno Dragon instead of a Baby Dragon, so they don't have to go remake it.
I personally would rather have 10 decks, but it, like you said, it would mess up the
Or
user interface.
5, and then you could toggle friendly, battle, or ladder.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Right?
We should be
Supercell,
Supercell
please.
developers.
I mean, we aren't.
We're
Yeah, that does make sense, because you're not gonna. The decks don't apply. Sometimes I forget I have something, and it has a bigger advantage in the ladder, and you queue up in a friendly battle. It's just based upon their power curve. Certain things work better or worse.
That's
it's
looks like a misplay.
Oh, wrong. Queued up the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, how you doing today? It's almost noon here in Europe, so we're going to be getting our maybe North American viewers later on in the day.
But it's gonna be very hyped up. Can you list the prizes under 2 seconds?
First place 5,000, second place 2,500, third place 1,500, and fourth place 1,000.
You should be a rapper.
No, that was maybe 4 or 5 seconds. The Dance Dance Revolution. I'm so happy they're starting up.
Oh, let the earthquakes begin. So we do have we do have Just Dance behind us. So we're gonna be jumping into the first match. Let's pull that up into the screen right now. B Village versus Baby Star.
It's high noon, someone wrote in the Twitch chat. Here we go, B Village, Baby Star. Round 2 of 5.
Baby Star going in with what he's comfortable with, using the furnace, but B Village does not let him fly with that furnace, going in with an immediate lightning.
We've seen almost every card in the game deployed to counter the furnace because people just hate it. What about a Goblin Hut, though? Do you let that slide a couple times?
I could let the Goblin Hut slide, but I hate the furnace. I'll take out the furnace for a negative elixir trade. I hate it that much. Just to make a point.
Mere Rockets?
I would. It's...
Oh,
That
if he didn't have those minions down, that was going to be a nice swing on that tower.
That was a very good play on B Village, countering that Mega Minion.
since he has lightning and arrows, he's probably rocking a Lava Hound deck because there's a Lava Hound up top because the arrows are more prevalent in that. You wouldn't need them as much in a Golem deck.
That Miner went in a little bit late. Otherwise, the 2 Fire Spirits would have hit the tower. And 2 Fire Spirits does deal almost as much damage as a Fireball because it doesn't incur that building damage reduction.
Do I get, what was that, my 14th Lava or deck prediction?
Those pups tanking for that Mega Minion. The Mega Minion is going straight for the tower. If it's going to get more than 2 swings off, it's going to be a lot of damage. 2 swings off, it's at full health. Baby Star only has a Furnace to counter
5,
that.
and the
it takes
tower
out the
goes
tower.
down. But now, let's see Baby Star's Lava Hound come out. No, that's. I don't think that's in his deck. But if it is, that would be a crazy deck.
So,
the Lava Hound Furnace.
What it looks like from the top.
Oh, Bowler Miner. Okay.
Bowler, interesting.
Yeah. It's tough because it's not much use against the Lava Hound deck, except to tank pups.
So Lava Hound's gonna pop very early just because those minions just deal so much damage with B Village not using arrows because they're just not worth it right now. He's very focused on the right side. Baby Star is trying to chip out the tower with the Miner. 45 seconds. What do you suppose his 8th card was?
Where? Up top?
Baby Star's 8th card.
A log that he doesn't have any ability to use.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense just because looking at B Village, there's no air.
Yeah. It's generally a lightning or fireball or rocket, and then a 2 or 3 elixir spell, and all these decks almost.
Yep. Look at that Mega Minion going in. It's getting distracted by those minions. Miner going to support that Mega Minion that's gonna die.
Up top, I'm confused up top though because I see the air effect, or at least the minions and Mega Minion.
There you go. You predicted the log.
But
for your-
I don't know what the last card of B Village's deck would have been. Because I see everything he needs for the Lava Hound push and the 2 spells and a building. Maybe a log as well? No. Yeah, it could be a log as well.
Right now, Baby Star's Bowler. Do you think that this could be an Expo counter deck? Just with the Bowler and the Furnace. He does have a Lightning as well.
I'd dare to say.
Look at that Mega Minion just chipping away at the Lava Hound, and it does one-shot the pup, so it's such a great counter for 3 elixir.
Will we see that lightning spell go down on the Bowler and Mega Minion tower? No. What about the Furnace and tower? I could see a good lightning spell opportunity here. Once the Hound gets in. Unfortunately, the Mega Minion's too far to catch it with the lightning, so he's just kind of stuck there.
Baby Star did plant those minions, and it caused that Mega Minion to retarget. Just kind of slightly pushed it forward, but Baby Star does protect it very well. The Miner going in,
Now-
and counters with a Bowler.
Where's the lightning now? Oh no, the Furnace is almost dead. This is so nuts. They both have a
And
couple
B-Village.
cards that just don't work well against the other person's deck.
B Village choosing to plant that Lava Hound in the center or at the river rather than the center. None of them playing any cards, despite them both having lane control.
And then a Furnace just to prevent any pop damage.
Very desperate Miner right there. It gets quite a bit of chip damage off. Lightning right there. It is at 243 health. Again, Lightning deals 346 damage to the tower. So let's see if that Bowler is going to change much.
But there's the log that I said he had no use for, and if they both had it, and now if he had it on the tower, maybe
Yeah.
Arrow's log would have been a little better, but he has lightning up and 2 elixir. He'll have a lightning.
Tombstone Miner going in right there. It's going to be back in rotation very soon.
But here comes the lightning or the arrows.
Right
or just
there,
the Miner.
doesn't even need
Yeah.
the Lightning. He has the Miner take out the tower. That's such a close match with B Village
Wow.
at 95 health.
Yeah, that was close. If B Village rocked the Expo earlier consistently,
Yeah.
Baby Star was set up to beat that deck. He
That-
would have beat
that
the
does
Expo.
make sense.
Yeah, he came in prepared for that. Now he sees a Hound. Does he change off predicting that? You could tell he's thinking about it because it's like, I came in to beat the Expo. I didn't see the Expo. Do I change or does he think I'll change?
Yeah.
They're about to start again, so we'll find out in literally seconds, but who knows?
It's all predicting each other. Is he going to play the Expo? Am I going to play the Expo counter or the counter to the counter of the Expo? So we're gonna go in with that Hog Baby Star going in. I love seeing the Hog in there. Just Hog cycle is so reliable.
Yeah, we've seen more miners, more hounds, more golems than hogs.
So B Village looks like he might have the same Lava Hound deck.
Constant pressure with the princess at the bridge. Oh, and the Ice Spirit takes out a good chunk of skeletons, and the Mega Minion gets a nice delay on when he's actually going to go in. Even a longer delay because the Tombstone.
So this is going to be another close match again. That was probably one of the closest matches that we've seen. B Village going in with that Mega Minion in the center, trying to just get as much value out of it, sending in the Miner to tank for that Mega Minion, but it's going to chip away at that Hog. With that log used, he's going to have no direct counter to the Princess. He might have to answer it or ignore it for the meantime. B Village with the Skarmy this time. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder, Skeleton Army Minion, Musket or Mega Minion. That's weird. That's like a completely different deck.
That was a very cool Tombstone plan right there, where it pulled the Mega Minion and it took care of the Princess on the left side. But B Village does not let that Princess get any chip damage off. They're both playing chip cycle style decks. It's very steady, slow, reliable, and it's guaranteed damage.
I wonder the mindset they both went to this chip cycle deck after both of them have experience with drastically different decks.
Chip cycle just has been proven to deal consistent damage, and provided that you can make 0 mistakes in the game, there's a higher win rate.
That Hog takes a 90-degree turn to the left as that Inferno Tower drags it back. The Princess will eventually chip it down. Let's see if we... the log's also just recently been used, so he has to just let his Inferno go down. Or lightning the Princess. Sorry.
2 more lightnings, and that could actually take out the tower, but he's going to go into the Miner to slowly chip it away.
The Hog takes a weird jump, almost misses the log. If only we had a Tesla to make that Hog keep jumping over the river multiple times.
Yeah, there's actually a very interesting tech where you can make the Hog get stuck in limbo.
Yeah. Because when he's in the air, it's the only reason it works.
It's very interesting that B Village chose to use an Inferno Tower despite they're not having any large units to counter. Going with the lightning.
He's dropping lightning whenever he can right now.
Yeah. B Village just needs to plant 1 Princess. Oh, he has arrows to chip it away. Now he just needs to cycle back to the log and take out the tower right there.
The Tombstone, oh, it doesn't even need to pull the Hog. B Village up 2-0 against Baby Star. An interesting start. You guys have been rooting for everyone in the chat. A lot going on right now. Lightning. Oh, okay. Is it just because people don't know what to do since Poison? But like lightning is the new Poison.
Lightning just makes a lot of sense because it's very versatile. It's always been versatile, but it hasn't been really popular or mainstream so far.
Yeah, and now it's, I'd say, in at least 70% of the decks we've been watching.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. We did see a Fireball deck take a victory though, so that was pretty cool. The Miner and Fireball work pretty well together. Lightning's just, it eliminates most buildings you can even put down. We're going to spectate. We're already jumping into the third one here. Baby Star facing elimination. B Village is 1 win away from taking this match.
So hopefully we can get that match on the screen soon. Pew! Nice. That sound effect did it.
Yeah, I just had
more often.
I had to manually change it. Skeleton Army in the worst spot they could have been for that Miner. It took the long way.
Yep. Baby Star again with the bowler. It's just going to get shredded by that Mega Minion, but those Minion does counter that very well. That Mega Minion is just going to get chipped away by Baby Star's tower. But there's not much going on right now. It's not even 1 minute into the game.
So B Village has the same deck, and he's every opportunity using any spell. I mean, there it was good because the Furnace only gets 1 batch off.
Even if Lightning costs 10 elixir, I would still Lightning a Furnace. I hate it so much. So that log on B Village's part was a little bit slow because it did chip, or the Ice Spirit did reach the tower. B Village really not liking that Tombstone, so he's immediately sending in a bowler just to take care of those skeletons. That trickle really hurts his Furnace right now, and it's just such a good counter against it. Especially with that previous balance update where more skeletons were spawning per second.
Yeah, now that they could spawn over double the amount of times the Fire Spirit spawn, it only takes 1 Spirit, obviously, to take out 1 skeleton.
Yeah. That Ice Spirit freezing that Miner.
And then a Lightning.
to take out one minion. That
It
was
used
value.
to be every time you send in a miner, you drop a poison. Now it's send in a miner, drop a lightning.
Especially with the new lightning stun effect. It just provides so much value. It justifies using it to stun the Inferno as well.
I gotta say, on a deck like B Villages, if the graveyard was allowed, it would work really well with sending the miner in.
Yeah. That Mega Minion's not going to reach it. Even with that Tombstone, it's going to drop his little helmet every time.
Let's see if we see minions. Yep, minions and Ice Spirit yet again for the miner, but it does just enough damage. But I mean, Baby Star's got his tower down lower now. The log, great. Blocks for the bowler.
That bowler just took out that Tombstone completely. Now it's at full health. It's going to
Baby
slowly
Star.
pull it away. 2 more bowls. There's not much
There
you can
we
do. 20
go.
seconds left. Takes out that tower.
That's what we want to see.
We're going to need to see something very big from B Village right now. He only has chip damage cards right now. That miner is not going to deal enough damage in the next 10 seconds. With that lightning right there, it's 524 health. The tower has to be at 437 health. So there's no chance for him to rotate back and use the log.
Baby Star stays alive, and everyone in the chat right now dropping the ooh faces.
Wow.
That was GG. I feel like he was under siege and under pressure the entire time with lightning
Absolutely.
spell, arrows. Oh no, here comes another log. Oh, here's the miner. And then all of a sudden, where did that come from? The minions built up to almost a horde above that bowler.
Usually what's been happening the whole game was that the Tombstone was distracting the bowler at a certain angle and just wasting his bowl. But
Yeah.
that one time that he didn't have the Tombstone in rotation, that bowler just took out the Tombstone and the skeletons that spawned with it. Just because that rock rolls so slowly that it did take out the residual.
It's like the log, the log.
I love the log. Wait, I said that backwards.
You love the log.
There we go.
Yeah, I love me a good other log.
The log.
Other.
So
Oh, looks like another possible speed of connection concern coming out of Baby Star. I want to make sure. I mean, when you're 2-1 facing elimination, you definitely want to double check.
yeah, absolutely.
Just gonna go check on that, so we'll just chill
So-
here. Look at the chat blowing up. Log love.
I'm Nick.
Wait, they said for me to do that.
I know.
Now the Moobot coming out with the blocking the emote people.
Nice.
Right now we are jamming right here. We should put on an area mic and turn it up a little bit so you guys could jam out with us.
I love how the seat vibrates so much.
Yeah.
It's so loud right now, but I'm loving this place. How are you feeling about ESWC? Did you get a chance to walk around yesterday?
Just a little bit, but it's pretty sweet. We've got a huge League of Legends stage behind us to the right. A huge, So You Think You Can Dance? What's the actual game name?
Just Dance.
Just Dance. That's a TV show.
You keep saying it's...
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
It's basically that with Connect.
And
But
Overwatch was lit yesterday, right over there.
Overwatch was lit. They're
Double
currently
capacity.
playing CSGO over there. ESWC's running CSGO, Street Fighter, Just Dance, Clash Royale for the first time, and maybe more. But the winner of today gets to say they're the first ever winner of an ESWC Clash Royale tournament.
So we're going to be jumping into the 4th match. Again, this is the best of 5, so if Baby Star can win this, it will be a tiebreaker for the 5th match. But if he loses, then B Village will take it for the victory. Expo this time, but Baby Star does have a bowler in this deck, unless he did change. Just look at that Furnace providing so much tanking value.
Furnace just beats everything.
Yeah, that would have been a value miner if not for the Fireball. And they're both playing different decks entirely. That Ice Golem provided so much value. Planted in front of the miner, it just distracted it, re-aggroed it, and everything. One Fire Spirit on the tower, deals over 150 damage. It's so annoying. I would mirror rocket the Furnace.
There goes the Ice Spirit in the back, and here comes the Expo. There's the Furnace and the Bowler. It looks like the same deck from Baby Star.
And look at that bowler. It's just going to demolish all those guards.
Wow.
That log does take out the Ice Spirit, but that Expo is still going to be locked onto that bowler, so he's not going to be getting any Expo damage.
And then the Furnace, he hasn't addressed it yet, B-Village. It's just going to continuously jump into his tower there. Oh. Down at 1899. There's the Fireball. I feel like you wanted to catch a Fire Spirit in there.
If that second Fire Spirit does not get onto the tower, that would have been an extra 50,
cool,
150.
Yeah.
A little bit slow on that Miner Plant, but it still provided a lot of value with the chip damage. And those guards just get demolished by that Furnace. And notice that his Furnace is planted a little bit further now.
And now the Expo is going to take it out at range. He's tired of it.
Like I said, I would mirror the Expo just to take out the Furnace.
Not much health left on the Expo, but that's more than enough for it to take out at least a couple Ferni.
Let's see if B-Village does play another defensive Expo. Most likely, if he does, he'll have learned his lesson and play the Expo on the right side, so there's no chance to lightning it. Planting a Mega Minion in the back right now. It's going to be a very heated battle in the center of the river. Going with a Fireball to take out the minions so that Ice Golem does survive long enough to get 2 pulls off that bowler.
Good comment in the chat if all you guys watching back home. Baby Star does have a very nice cycle right now. Everything's really working
Very well
together, synergizing between when he sends that Miner in, what he's supporting it with, the Furnace when the Expo's up, the bowler just when it's needed.
B-Village needs to do something slightly different right now to change the rotation. Maybe play a different card. He might suffer some damage, but if he can change the rotation, then this will be better. But there's just no chance for that Expo to get through. Lightning on that tower with that Miner, taking it down below 346 health. If he can cycle back to another Lightning, he's going to take out that tower or use the
He's
log.
got the log, but it won't do it, so he's just got to wait for one more Lightning spell. And he's at 2, 3, 4, ready to drop it. He doesn't need it. He's got the Miner.
Miner going with that 1 hit, 2 hits. He just needs 1 more hit,
One
takes out
more.
the tower
Ooh,
for the win.
64 damage
So
against
that is-
18.
That's an amazing play right there. Baby Star was just
Down
in
0-2,
control.
back 2-2, and we're going into Game 5
Wow,
of the World Series.
that was such a close play between the two of them. But Baby Star did have control of that whole situation. He was always playing with his rotation, and it was just such good control.
It was good on both sides.
So this is the final match. Looks like Baby Star is pondering very hard on what to use next, but this is going to be a very nice match. 2-2, the tiebreaker of the day.
So it's funny, B-Village very successful with the Expo early on against Vocal. What's it? I'm not pronouncing. What's his name? The first one.
Procol?
Procol. I said Vocal. But then Baby Star able to shut down the Expo.
All right, so we have the...
Invincible Furnace once again. Was there an Ice Golem in that last Expo deck?
Yes. It just makes a lot of sense. With how tanky it is for 2 Elixir.
Yeah. That's what it is. Miners on the tower.
Mega Minion going in, it's going to get chipped away by the tower unless B-Village can send in a Miner, which he might have back in rotation right now, but he's not going to fly by that.
All right, let's see if we see a Miner go underneath that Ice Spirit and Mega Minion. Nope, just an Ice Golem. That's all he needs to pull it. And then the Ice Golem will be able to pull while the Mega Minion takes out...
and that Ice Golem slowed that Mega Minion for 35% slow. Defending against 2 Ice Spirits and the Mega Minion for 2 Elixir.
That's just painful to watch. An Expo at the river. Even though it's Legendary Arena, it's more like clouds. But the bowler right in front doesn't even get a chance to take out the Furnace.
That's a lot of trouble right now because that bowler has a lot of health. It's tanking the tower, allowing that Miner to get in so much chip damage despite that Mega Minion going on that Miner.
We're just seeing mini tanks with great utility being taken out by even stronger mini tanks.
So with the Furnace just chipping away that Mega Minion so effectively right now, do you think B-Village could be using a Lightning again on that Furnace? On the next rotation at least?
Oh, look, the Ice Golem is sitting on the Expo. But the Mega Minion was targeting the Expo, not the... He was like, I don't care about the Ice Golem.
Yeah.
This thing's going to do more damage,
But
and he just swung at it.
Look at that Mega Minion just slice away at that bowler. But he sends in the Miner for the value of the minions. But that Ice Golem just provides so
That Ice Golem...
much.
Oh, no, it only did a little. But I was going to say, post-update, that would have made those minions very, very low.
Yeah,
Because they were
right.
already a little sliver off.
Right now it does 30 damage, and then after the update with the 74% buff, it'll bring it down up to 70 death damage.
Yeah. That's like half a minion.
Always going in with that value miner, but he got predicted with the guards. That Mega Minion's gonna get chipped away and die from that Fire Spirit right there. B-Village is playing that Ice Golem in the back. We can expect an Expo soon, but he might be holding back because of that bowler.
There's the Inferno. I think that's what he's going to need because there's a bowler and so many different tanky counters.
Using a Lightning defensively to take out the Mega Minion and everything. Is he going to be planting an Expo soon once he gets the Elixir?
He needs to get it down as soon as possible because, there's the Furnace because the Mega Minion and bowler were just out of rotation for a few seconds, but now they're back as soon as it goes down. Look, they're right here again.
But look at that. He planted the Ice Golem just in time to tank the Fire Spirits, protecting that Mega Minion, so it's still alive to take out his Mega Minion.
Getting through a bowler and minions. The Mega Minion almost falls to the minions.
So now he has two options. He could
what? Oh, just a couple different options. Oh, the lightning spell goes out on the Ferni.
On the Ferni. We haven't seen a Ferni in a while.
We have not seen Ferni today.
For those of you guys tuning in, Ferni is plural for 2 furnaces.
It's like a gaggle of geese.
That's exactly it. So the bowler is going in. Is he going to target the tower? Is he going to counter with an Ice Golem? He does counter with the Ice Golem, and the Mega Minion just takes out the bowler, but that miner goes in for that chip damage. 2 minutes left. There's going to be a lot of chip damage. How is he going to answer with that?
Oh, Ice Spear catches the guards and the Expo, but the Expo's for the first time locked on the tower, and will he have enough to take it down quick?
This is going to be very bad news. The bowler doesn't have anything
oh
to retarget onto it, dealing so much damage.
It's within lightning range.
700 damage.
Lightning.
He just needs to defend against this really big push right now and use the lightning right there. He has 6 elixir. Does he have any rotation?
450.
Boom!
B-Village gets the lightning out before Baby Star, who's furious he couldn't get just a couple more seconds on that tower. They're both looking like they just woke up, and I don't know, there's nothing. They were both so shocked and relieved at the end of that. That was the closest ending, I think.
Yeah.
We had another big ending, but like game 5, after not being able to get your Expo on the tower once, it takes all the way.
That one mistake right there.
Oh, man.
That was so intense.
That was crazy. The chat is blowing just.
That was one of the best plays we've seen today. He didn't have he didn't have the bowler to answer to it at the time.
Did you notice Baby Star took longer? They were almost down to the last minute of overtime. It took him way longer to chip that round with the miner. It's like
it did.
B-Village was way better at shutting down every little chip push.
And it was looking very promising. He was slowly chipping away with the miner and everything.
Yeah.
Countering with the miner being countered with Mega Minions. It would still get 2 shuffles off, but still that one Expo locking onto the tower, bringing that tower within lightning range, which is 346.
B-Village. Baby Star, a top leaderboard player. He makes exits to Surgical and B-Village, neither of which are anyone to mess with. Just say yes.
Very. I'm still blown away. I need to.
I know that's. We need some time to take that. What just happened in that last one, man?
Can't believe that Expo locked on.
What went wrong? Because there was no bowler, no furnace.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe it was Baby Star seeing like, why is this taking so long to chip versus the last match? Let's go harder on offense, and didn't have the defense ready.
That was just an amazing play. It was the battle of the day, which we're gonna see even more action on tonight.
Yeah. When the final rocket falls, we will have a winner amongst us. It wasn't meant to say Surgical's gonna win, but Rockets have been ending matches, as well as Lightning, more than.
Surgical's Rocket Deck is actually very hard to play, like you were saying. It takes a lot. He's probably had over 1,000 games played with the experience of knowing exactly what combos
I'd say
work.
at least 3,500. Just kidding.
Maybe a little bit over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Yes.
Oh, we're jumping in with Term.
Termispa versus
and
Macdoy.
Mac.
We'll call him Term.
Term sounds nice. The other option would be Isfa, and I don't think you want to go with that.
That log that shuts down the Goblin Barrel right there, and Term's miner just doing full chip damage. Interesting arrows to take out the guards. Shields so that the arena tower could take out the skeletons.
Now let's see if Term has anything that does require arrows to punish, because he's used his Princess and his arrows, so he's out of.
Rocket.
Ooh.
Very confident rocket right there. I mean, that miner did deal 500 damage earlier, so he might be a little bit.
Here come
Prepared.
the opposing arrows. They both have arrows, and Mac has way more arrowable items.
Just look at that. Ice Spirit provides so much value for 1 elixir. Just denying that minion horde, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
The princess.
But I mean, Ice Spirit, Fire Spirits denying 3 Musketeers is less fair. But that takes a good plant.
It does. Very, very. You could use Log and Fire Spirit to take it away if you have perfect timing, but realistically, it's very hard to pull off in a real game. So that Skeleton Army is planted a little bit too far back. It doesn't quite deny that miner, but that Log takes it all out.
Goblin Barrel,
MacDoy
Miner.
going in with this classic aggressive barrel right there. If you notice the timing of his Goblin Barrel, he does plant the Goblin Barrel first and then
Yep.
sends in the miner a second later just
The
to
miner will-
optimize the damage or the tanking capabilities of the miner.
Yeah, the Miner will beat the barrel, so that's the perfect way to do it.
Princess denies the Mega Minion, arrows deny the Princess.
But now he's got a Skeleton Army and a Minion Horde he could send. The
The
Inferno
Minion
goes
horde
up.
could possibly be denied by the Ice Spirit again if played properly. Very
Just-
confident rocket right there. Just looking at Term's deck, he has Mega Minion, Guards, Log, Ice Spirit, Arrows, Inferno Tower, everything just
Log weight on the left lane.
a little bit. That's going to cost him.
Maybe 1 or 2 Goblin swings because I could have caught that one in the front right. But he did have an Inferno Tower there, so maybe not.
Going in for the prediction arrows and the Skeleton Army, but the Skeleton Army is planted in the back. That might be why he's been planting in the back, predicting the prediction arrows. That makes a lot of sense.
The Rocket for the Minion Horde, and then does he have the Log for the Goblins? He's
Look at that.
not able to get
MacDoy's
that.
miner taking out that tower right there. 20 seconds left, but that rocket's not going to be enough damage with 493 health or damage on the rocket.
He could Rocket and Log,
Oh no, that miner doesn't lock onto the tower, but
and then the
it
Rocket.
does-
Yep, Rocket and Log was what he's going to do, but he sent the Miner in to see if he could avoid it. But now he's the one that's going to have to defend this push.
That Mega Minion didn't stop the Goblin Barrel just because it's planted too far, but that Fireball is so much value. I would just let that Mega Minion rockets just gonna head towards the King's Tower. Very aggressive miner plants back and
Oh.
forth between the two of them.
Those arrows, I think, missed the tower. Either, maybe not.
MacDoy again
Goblin.
going with the classic Goblin Barrel.
Now they're both just like hyper focused on preventing that instantaneous damage with the Miner and the Goblin Barrel.
That's the disadvantage of having Chip Cycle deck is that the win condition is usually 1 crown, so you're at a huge defensive disadvantage when you have 1 tower down.
We got to see that Log or... Yep, Log comes off for the Princess. The guards would have done it maybe with 1 more shot.
Yep. Miner back and forth, Goblin Barrel just
And
back and
he's
forth,
saving
back and
his
forth.
arrows, just waiting.
Yep.
And now he's catching up in tower damage, even though he initially had to take a couple hits because he went all in with Rocket, Log, and Miner.
Term missing that guard prediction on the Miner, so that Miner got a few hits off. Let's see if MacDoy prevents this.
And then
For
a
the prediction
minion just-
arrows, that's a lot of damage that Miner's going to do.
There was an interesting minion, went to hit a guard, and the guard walked away, so it hit the tower instead on the top. That was pretty cool.
Such amazing plays between both of them. So they're planting the Inferno
That's
a little
asking
bit
for
closer.
a rocket. The guards. Wait. Oh, yeah.
Like you said,
Yep.
Inferno rocket right there.
Yep, you're asking for it. This one's coming down to just a siege and onslaught of... That's a deep barrel. That's a deep barrel and 2 miss.
Oh! It takes all the
Oh.
Ice Spirit survives and freezes the Goblin, so that deep barrel did no value.
So now that he saw the Ice Spirit have to be deployed for the minions, he sends the Goblins, he sends the Minion Horde in because that's his defense for it, and that's going to end the game with the Minion Horde on the
Right
tower.
there.
Oh my gosh.
Almost had enough for a rocket. MacDoy's tower was within rocket range as well.
He knew the minions were always dying to the Ice Spirit, and when the Deep Barrel drew the Log to save 2 Goblins, the Minion Horde Skeleton Army go in on the Inferno and take it. That was the craziest thought process. Today we're just getting further and further blown away. Eventually we're going to be in the
Yeah.
Dance Revolution stage.
I'll be up there. So one
was cool.
one interesting thing that I've noticed between both of them is that when you have a miner chip cycle and you can get at least 3 hits off, that's basically your win condition, right, to win the game.
Yeah.
And with 1 tower down, it's very hard to get any chip damage off, just because the King's Tower is now activated. Takes out the Miner very quickly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be hopping into this match. They're both going to be at 10 Elixir.
What do you feel about dropping the Miner one tile off the tower to the side furthest from the King to avoid King Tower splash?
I was actually going to bring that up.
No,
None of them
I
did
did.
that.
It's
during the
okay. Nobody's done that. It's a very like niche thing. Let's see how this one
Yep.
plays out. I feel like we're watching the Super Bowl right now. Or
So
the Ferneye Bowl.
the Ferneye, we need to see some Ferneye
First
action.
needs its own arena.
Yep.
And when you get there, you just get it.
Princess in the front, chipping away. He answers with a Mega Minion, but that Goblin Barrel gets denied with the arrows.
Inferno just close enough to get that Mega Minion.
1 more minute before double Elixir time. I want to see some Ferneye action.
So the interaction is that you still have a Fire Spirit jump barely when you have a Inferno down in
At
that
that location.
position.
Yep, you have to plant it one
if
tile.
it's left more,
Yep,
it denies it completely.
it does.
We brought that up yesterday, but just so you guys know, where that furnace or where the Inferno was, you can do it a little better.
The downside to that is that if you send in a Musketeer, it's going to walk straight to the tower.
I think that's one of the least used cards we've seen in the last couple days.
Yep.
That and the Wizard.
Look, we haven't seen the Wizard at all. I hope he doesn't get a buff.
Or 3 Muskets.
That's right. They're
The Wizard's a little clunky, in my opinion. The way he shoots and stuff, there's just more fluid cards.
I'd rather the Wizard not come back into the meta. I had a lot of anxiety in Builder's Arena back then. So many Wizards.
Wizard Witch Giant or Wizard Witch
Oh.
something.
Wizards always denying my Minion Horde and Barbarians on my level 5. Always.
Yeah, Barbarians drifted away for a while, but now they're back. When that P.E.K.K.A. couldn't one-shot him,
Yeah.
that was changed relatively quick.
It did.
It doesn't make sense.
Arrows to take out the shield. Does that Princess get one shot? It doesn't, so the guards stay alive. Mega Minion protecting the guards from the tower, so they're going to get in, maybe get a couple stabs in here and there. 1 stab, 2 stabs
They all
right
walked
there.
up and took a stab.
They kind of took turns. Very polite
They're
of
like,
them.
let's go Larry, Gary, and Lee Doot.
So look at that. The
Once
minions
again-
aren't locked onto the tower, and it takes it out. Doesn't even need the Miner to take any damage, but on the right side, Term could take out the tower very soon.
It's that same push, the Skeleton Army Minion Horde. It's just
Yeah.
a lot
Going in
when
for
you
that-
don't have arrows.
Term predicted arrows and didn't pay off because Macdo didn't counter that with the Skeleton Army, so he's forced to use a rocket on the tower despite it only having 100 health.
That's painful. Guards are probably one of the best things you can place next to a tower for Goblin Barrel and or Miner.
Yeah, especially with their swords. They're almost like
Yeah.
spears because they have slight range.
I think they are spears.
Oh yeah,
They're like pikes.
Pike's place.
They're pikemen. Oh,
Just a lot
that's
going on. The Miner on the
dirty.
right side.
We need that log.
The Goblins did over 300 damage to that, 600 damage to the tower. How did it do that with all the
There was
units on
like
the-
4 other skeletons right next to him.
Oh,
Like,
man.
Lee
Term going
Doot.
with that rocket. It's not quite enough. 550 health. To remind everyone, the rocket damage does 493. Arrows providing no value right there, but it does get some chip damage off. If that Miner can bring it down 1 hit,
That's rocketable.
but Term doesn't have enough elixir because he had to defend against that Goblin Barrel using the guards. At 5 elixir, Term has 6 elixir.
There
Are
comes
we
the
gonna see a
rocket.
rocket right
There
there
it goes.
for the win?
And now they have traded towers. They've traded games. It's 1-1. The score remains the same.
Just such skilled competition between the two. It looks like it's very easy and they're like almost that there's no skill because they make it look
Yeah.
too easy. But each placement is precisely planned.
Yeah, that's 2 cycle decks that have both taken out 2 arena towers and then with a different outcome in overtime. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
And as a cycle player, I haven't seen any misplays between the two of them. Really, it's maybe a misplay on a prediction arrow, but that's more of a gamble than it is a misplay.
Yeah, I mean,
you think
talk
so.
about moving along. We're already jumping into round number 3. in
Already
this
Term going in
matchup.
with that Miner. With an Ice Spirit mispredicting it, so it doesn't tank 1 shot from there. That rocket goes in for the value Mega Minion.
Oh, a Golem deck. Here we go.
Nice.
long thought from Term. Where he just wants to make sure that Inferno doesn't lose too much health, because if a lightning spell comes down, that's probably going to kill it just about because of how long it's been alive. Just kidding. That's post balance change. It would have done that.
Just a bit early on the lightning.
Look at that. It hits all the way up. It would have been dead a while back. So this golem push would have been different 2 to 3 days from now.
Yeah. With that 6% nerf, right?
Yeah. I still see Inferno being played a lot. It just stops so many things.
I could still see it being very versatile. Just the unique mechanic it has of ramping up damage over time, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that mechanic is so unique, it should be classified as a legendary card. Term going in with the early rocket. It's not even double elixir overtime yet. He's just so confident that he can defend against the golem because he has an Inferno Tower in his deck right now.
So you don't think we need to introduce a legendary building. You think we need to recategorize an existing building.
In my opinion, an Inferno Tower is a legendary. Just
Wow.
like if you look at all the mechanics of everything, every legendary has a unique attribute.
All right. Can I quote that in the video?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet. I'm going to make a thumbnail with the rare card and then put it on a legendary and say, it should be this. From OJ, look at the Inferno. It doesn't get to heat up that time, and now we have a full-blown golem with a strength of 2 mini golems.
Miner going in for the chip damage, but that golem did so much damage. That death damage is just so valuable.
Oh, he's going to rocket the archers.
The guards and the Ice Spirit, so that Mega Minion is going to get one hit off. No, it goes for that golem instead.
When you don't have lightning and you see archers, use rocket. So
Look at that. He does a 4.
he keeps putting the Inferno over there, but I've seen a lot of people tuck it into the tower against the golem.
That's very
Because look at the baby dragon, it goes right to the tower. It's interesting. There's a lot of variations of where you can place it.
He used arrows to take out the Inferno Tower
And
early.
he's back to it again.
Oh my goodness.
And that golem makes a quick 180 and
Yeah.
says, wait a minute, I thought this was gone, and he's not done with it.
Just that rocket cycle deck, he is already back on that Inferno Tower, so that Miner goes in for that chip damage. He doesn't even need to use rocket, he just uses arrows to take it out.
Term looks relaxed now. After settling in 0-1, we've seen a lot of comeback gameplay.
So the disadvantage of playing an Inferno 4 tiles from the river and 3 from the tower is that, like we saw in this play right here, that Baby Dragon just slipped past it, but
Yep.
he was confident enough that he could take out the Baby Dragon.
Yeah, I started messing around with it last night after we had seen a bunch in day 2 in groups 3 and 4 of people just tucking it either one or against their tower, just a little in front. You were right, it draws every part of the push there, and the best is if they have a bowler and you put it there, the bowler is just going right towards the king and it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's a really good spot.
I actually made a whole video about that, but I didn't call it how to use buildings, it's more how to counter giants, which I should retitle.
Yeah. How do you, like Inferno Tower placement, or it's more about other towers too, but yeah. Just do a new one about Inferno Tower.
I'll repost it as a new title. So,
Views. All right, here comes the minion horde.
yep. So Macdoya is at 1 win. Term is at 2 wins right now. Term just has to win one more for this match of best of 5. Macdoya goes in with that princess right there. Term has a different card this time. We see a Zap. That's why, because he has a Lava Hound.
Oh, here we go, Lava Hound deck. There we go, and you can see instantly the Inferno Tower placement shifts because of the Lava Hound. Now, since he doesn't have a Mega Minion or anything in the air to support it, the Inferno Tower can tank the pups. The spawner does make it a little bit of a problem where he has to use the arrows, but if it's just a Hound, you can just put an Inferno Tower right there.
Yep, just it has 1800 health. It's so much value right now, and that Miner only got 2 hits off the tower with that Inferno Tower still up.
We see Zap, and previously we had seen Log, but now Term using Zap with his Lava Hound.
That Tombstone still up, slowly trickling away. Could we see a Lava Hound very soon, or he's going to counter? He counters with that. So I'm going to expect a Lava Hound in the front to support that, that Mega
definitely.
Minion.
There's no way he's going to let all those... he's not going to let Mac not let him play his game, which is what he needs to set up here.
Could
And
we
now,
see a Zap right there? No, we see arrows instead to take out the Princess. And that Mega Minion slips by, but it gets taken out by
that's
Fireball.
a good fireball. He's still down in Elixir after the fireball, but I mean, that answered it with 0 damage to the tower.
Yep. I wonder what Term's 8th card is.
It could be Skeleton Army, or it could be something else. Who knows?
Miner, that arrows just took out the minions and it took out that tombstone, so it's not going to provide any value for when he plays that Lava Hound right
Now
there.
that we're in double elixir, look for the lightning to come out when the Lava Hound is countered with the Inferno. And you can see, I think that's why the Minion Horde was played first, because if the lightning comes out, now it's going to, oh, see, now he's low on elixir, so he can't get it off.
Very interesting analysis. That's very true. He changed his playstyle based on how
He knew, yeah.
on the elixir time. Arrows to shut down the Goblin Barrel immediately, and it does a lot of damage to that Miner.
And then he hits 7 elixir just as the Mega Minion crosses the bridge, so it wouldn't have been worth to put that Hound down. There's the lightning now, and that's just all he needs with the Miner, and just one more arrows or zap, and that tower.
Right there, Term has the game right now. He sends in the arrows for the win. 3-1 taking the match.
He just held on to his lightning till there was a good full health Inferno and tower to hit in the double elixir period, which is pretty crazy.
Just with Macdoy playing the Inferno Tower, he is playing it so precisely that he wasn't giving him any opportunity to use a lightning properly. And just when he switched up to the Minion Horde, he knew that lightning was going to be trouble.
Yep.
Just that play right there.
Because he hadn't seen it, and everyone's using it with Hound.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Both players just adapting on the fly. I haven't even thought about that to change my Inferno play at 1 minute.
That was pretty crazy because he had been putting Inferno Princess, and then the arrows would go to the Princess. So then he played the Minion Horde, and then after the arrows came, then it was Princess and Inferno.
Yep. Just
interesting.
Crazy combination that they both have.
Yeah. So 3-1 in that one. Felt closer. I'm not sure if we're going straight through or if we're going to be breaking for the main stage, but that's going to be the final 4. We're going to be doing a different setup. It's going to be way more epic, where people have been raging over Overwatch, another big like CSGO and other games on that stage. The final 4 get to play there as well. We could pull the, is this refreshed?
Yep.
Nice. We could pull the bracket up just to take a quick look. So we started off the day with Procol, B Village. B Village then goes on to be Baby Star, and now it's B Village Surgical. They're part of the final 4.
Surgical, he's already in the quarterfinals.
Yep. And then Mac Term. So it looks like this is going to be the last match that we witness here. And then it's the final 4.
Yep.
And out of the final 4, we have 4 places of paid positions, like we've been mentioning, 5,000, 25, 15, and 1,000. So they have to play in a losers in 3 and 4 to see who's going to be getting 1,500 and who's going to be getting 1,000.
Yep, and just look at the recurring theme here, where the Shanghai tournament winners, or the top 8 players from the Shanghai tournament, are again placing in the top bracket again. Just
scary stuff.
So much skill.
Yeah. So I think, so Term is, Term's moved on. Yeah, right?
Yep, so I believe the next match will be Ming against Han.
Oh, yeah.
HZ, Han Z.
Yeah. Ming and Han, yeah, so that's a good bracket right now. Things are shaping up well. At least, well, that kind of is unfortunate for them because only one of them can move on.
Yep. So to remind everyone, this is the finals of the qualifiers for everything. And
128 people turned into 4 from each 32 group. And then this final 16 are being whittled down to 4 today to take home some prizes.
Just all these guys qualifying from the 1,000-player tournaments in-game, qualifying to get into the group. And in those groups, they place top 4 to be in the finals for today.
Say it ain't so. But it is.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. HZ and Ming going at it right now.
So we do have Ming on the bottom and Han on the top.
And we have some of the top Giant and Lava Hound players.
Again, going into the
game.
Lava Hounds.
Look at these Lava Hounds. Just HC sees it and he answers immediately with it. Says, "Okay, let's go." Now, it's all going to be about the plants, the tiles, and which of the troops they choose to pull it with.
Oh, and the Lava Hounds kiss each other. So look at the Mega Minions just dancing away.
That was very anti-Yarn. I wasn't ready for that. Look at the explosions. It's almost identical on both sides. Minions and Mega Minion.
Exact counters to each other. Look at that.
If a Tombstone comes out, I'm going to lose it because that means they had the same start. Okay.
Miner going in for chip damage right there.
Crisis averted.
Again, answering with a miner and the log to take out the tombstone. It's going to take out the tombstone.
No,
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And it doesn't catch the skeletons, but
Just a little bit over half health. It would have taken out the tombstone and the skeletons that spawn.
and
Such
the tower
a value log.
won't be able to. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Larry's
no.
take a turn one at a time. They just all hit that.
They all queued up. Just
That's what
so
they've been
politely.
doing. Just like the guards, they
Yeah.
didn't have spear or what are we calling them? Pikes or what are we gonna call them?
We'll call them pikes. That makes
That
a lot of
sounds
sense.
cool.
Yeah,
Because it's not like a throwing spear like a spear golem. It's a jab.
it is. Just that slight range. The pups pop, but he has minion horde to counter all of that stuff, so it's not going to do too much damage. But that miner still chips away slowly. Are those minions going to turn around? Only one turns around, so that miner does so much damage. Over 300 damage to that tower. Just insane.
And they're both at like the same elixir, doing similar plays. They're altering their miner and well, actually, we haven't seen a single spell come out of Ming this entire game, which is crazy. But we also haven't seen a tombstone come out of HC, so that makes sense because if he has a log or something, that's when you would play it.
Yeah. Minion horde
Minion Horde makes
aggressively.
an appearance.
Are we going to start
This-
seeing a spell soon? The arrows, we do see the spell take out the minion horde.
And then regular minions get deployed, and regular minions plus Mega Minion, only one pup actually locked the tower there. But then look at that, the prediction arrows take out half a minion horde, which is still focused on a miner, but
It looks like Han was predicting the minion horde to be planted on the lava hound and not the miner.
you could say most of this battle is taking place
105 health. He shows his lightning card.
above ground.
20 seconds. That miner's not going to deal 1,400 damage. So it's looking bad for Ming right now. Han is just going to go into that slow chip damage. If he can get 2 hits off, not even he has arrows to finish off the tower for the win for the first match of this round.
That's interesting. No tombstone beat the deck with the tombstone.
He
and
did
we
have
didn't
the
get
log
to see
to take
one
care of that.
we didn't get to see one of Ming's cards. I wonder if it was the log and he just never got to use it against that tombstone. We could take a quick look. Did we ever see a lightning spell come out? No. Or arrows. Arrows.
It
No,
just didn't
yeah.
quite make sense.
Lightning, yeah, doesn't make sense.
Because none of them had Inferno Towers to provide much value. Maybe
Yeah.
a Lightning on the Mega Minion at the right time, but that's still a 3 elixir trade-off.
Yeah. That's interesting. Very similar. It's weird they both had minions, Minion Horde, and Mega Minion. Minions 3 ways.
Yeah. It was very surprising how they both had the same rotation in the very beginning, just playing the exact same things. It was just
Yeah.
amazing when the Lava Hound kissed.
I thought it was going to be a headbutt, but you said kiss, so I just rolled with it.
Now, is the Lava Hound a she or a he? Many say that it's a she
I think
because
it's a she.
it pops the pups.
Yeah, and it seems like a mother,
Yeah.
the way it moves across the arena.
We have a lot of female characters, Sparky, Pekka.
Yeah, but they're
Allegedly
just...
Lava Hound. We need an official confirmation that Lava Hound is a girl.
Oh, I'm going to call it right now, 100%.
Yeah,
The
so
only-
they are-
Our machine friends, Pekka and Sparky, they're just called she from a technicality. I don't know.
A technicality. It does biologically make sense. So Han at the top playing the Lava Hound. Miner split by Ming. Going on the right side with the minions. It's not going to reach its tower.
Wow, those minions don't perfectly cancel. They were just a little off sync on their shooting. Or their throwing, I guess, is what they're doing. One pop.
One pop is going to deal so much damage to that. That miner's not getting addressed, so it's dealing 500 damage to the tower right there.
And the
Plus
pup's
that
doing
pup
50 about right there every
Yeah.
shot. Oh, wow.
gets 1 extra hit off right before it dies.
I think the pup does 45. And once again, guys, this is Nick at Night and Yarn from Orange Juice today, bringing you the latest from the 16-player bracket.
Pleasure to join everyone live in Paris. 2 Lava Hounds on the map. Ming's Lava Hound on the right side does have a slight advantage. It's a little bit more forward. Supported with that Mega Minion gets lightning for the first time, like I was saying earlier, but that didn't provide much value.
It did set him up to place his Mega Minion safely, but that's about it. Oh, but then the miner goes in the back, and it's just a Mega Minion. Oh, and then the zap slows him down. It almost took it out.
Oh no, that is so much value for that Mega Minion. Do you think that Han could be playing a miner to support that sliver of health? Or he's
That's
just going to
super
let rock.
risky, but he doesn't have any other sweet. Oh, he supports the one minion.
Interesting. That it doesn't make sense because on the left side he
Look
doesn't
at
need to chip
it.
that.
And he
2
gets
hits on the
2
tower.
swings from a single minion.
A half health minion. That's ridiculous.
He's got to be cheating. Just kidding, but like, come on, look at that skill. So instead of the rear corner, look at this is the same matchup again. Let's see if we see the Mega Minion, and then let's see if we see the Lightning come out again.
That lightning actually provided decent defensive value for there. Mega Minion, does he have arrows to counter that? He does.
And then the Miner's going to start going in right.
A little bit late on the lightning. It almost clipped that Mega Minion, but
There's
it's
the
not.
Miner. And the Lightning then goes down. He changes the rotation, and Ming gets a tower.
So that little misplay right there, when Han from the top did play that lightning to try to take out that Mega Minion, it doesn't.
Well, either way, we're going to be going into overtime here unless someone severely makes a mistake. So it's going to be a 1,700 health tower versus a 2,500 health tower.
Mega Minion's not enough just because it's air, so it doesn't tank for the tower, takes it out.
And then that's the play before that set up a Mega Minion on defense. Let's see if we see that Mega Minion come out. Right there it is. And then you're going to see arrows come in. Yep, right there.
A little bit slow on the arrows right there, so that pups stay
A
alive.
little early on the arrows.
Yeah, early.
Yeah. Because he could have got the Minion Horde and the pups.
Yeah.
That would have been a couple hundred health.
Miner going in to support those Mega Minions, but he counters with Lava Hound to tank. It's going to pop prematurely, but very interesting.
Can he do one of those Lava Hound tanking for Lava Hounds, those or Lava Pups?
I love when that happens.
That's so cool. It's a very rare occurrence.
Yeah.
You really have to have the Hound dive very far on your side. Or just quickly cycle. Uh-oh. You can't risk those 2 minions getting on the tower. He'd rather have the...
Despite that Mega Minion being there, there's no way it would have clipped. It would have targeted onto those minions. So that
And
those
the
arrows didn't
arrows-
make sense.
They're hanging in there, but it's only 2 lightning spells just about on HC's tower right there.
Mega.
It'll be a little more, but he has arrows as well.
Oh, and
Oh,
the Minion Horde gets pulled to the left side. It's going to provide no value for that Miner.
I'd expect the lightning on that Mega Minion 100%.
Yeah, just look at that Lava Hound slowly
There
deal
it
one.
is. And then arrows, if
Pops.
anything, but he's got
Are
it.
those pops gonna deal any damage to the tower? With the Miner coming in, it's gonna finish it off. Desperation log
Boom, 60
takes the
swing.
tower.
So we've seen both players win with the Hound. This one was a little more of a grind session.
Ming, one of the best Lava Hound players, and it's shown when he won the Shanghai tournament.
Yeah.
So the score is now 1-1.
2-1. Very interesting. We'll see how this plays out. I mean, they could both stick with Lava Hound, and this would still be interesting for 5 games. I don't really mind.
I love seeing high-level Lava Hound. It's
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like a super high skill ceiling card to use, but it is up there.
I think they both ditched. Well, Ming ditched the Tombstone as soon as he lost when he used it.
A very good adaptation just
Yeah.
because he knew about the log.
Yeah, it was being countered too easily, and then he wins. Was there a log in HC's second hand there? Because if so, yeah. So then the log, after ditching the Tombstone on a non-change deck, provides him with a slight advantage because the log has less value to HC.
Right, and he rarely played that log. He did play it at the very end to try and stop that Miner, but there's no way those pups just kept bashing and bashing.
No way. All right, we're jumping into, let's spectate that on our end. There we go.
So we're going to be jumping into the match.
Game 3. He's back with the Tombstone. Is he playing a mind game? Maybe HC took out. Oh, he's got a Princess. That would be sort of weird to have a Lava
Oh, a
Hound deck.
baby dragon. There's going to be Golem in there now versus a Hog Cycle deck.
Oh, and it looks like the Hog Cycle with the Inferno.
Hog gets 2 hits off, gets 3 hits off. As always, the archers can only prevent that much damage. Value arrows right there, takes out the Princess, chips away at the Mega Minion, and does tower
I really
damage.
like that. It was like, hey, I got you once, you got me once. Let's both use a new deck. But they didn't actually say any of that. They just went with it. Oh, that's cool.
This is our first time seeing Han play the Hog Cycle deck.
And that's pretty scary because before the... Oh, he catches the new skeletons and the old ones, allowing 2 hits on a Hog.
That Hog is just providing so much value with Ming on the bottom here. He doesn't have any... He does have the Tombstone to answer the Hog, but he hasn't been pulling the Hog very much.
And just look how much, like right here, he's probably going to start up another one. Well, he's going to defend first, but he's going to probably send in Hog and, yeah, again, because he doesn't want Ming to get his Golem ready.
And Ming already knows that there's going to be an Ice Spirit, so he pre-plants the Ice Golem right there to just absorb everything. Slows the Mega Minion with its Death Slow.
And then the worst part about this is, once the Golem does come out in double Elixir, there's going to be an Inferno with HC ready for it.
Just such a deadly deck right now. Just defend with Inferno, Ice Spirit, Skeleton, cycle back to the Hog really quickly, and just keep chipping away.
And you could even have guards in there. But it's probably more likely a heavy spell.
Yep.
All right, so there's the Tombstone. Let's see how this Inferno play on defense works. But then there's a Zap. He keeps zapping those Skeletons, allowing the Hog to come in for 2 hits when it should be getting 1.
Oh my goodness, 23 health on the tower. He just needs to zap it for the win, but in my opinion, I would leave it for now just so that I can chip the other tower.
He does reset the Inferno with the Lightning right there, and then we still haven't seen the last card. If it was a Rocket, it's overkill. But let's see, yeah, the Golem, that's got to be frustrating. This deck,
Look at that, he cycled back to the Inferno. That is ridiculous. Not even letting the Golemites get in.
this deck was originally the Giant Poison Killer because you can get the Inferno down, have the Giant Bowler or just Giant Prince and Mega Minion come in, and then you have another Inferno for once that one goes down, and
Yep.
it was just unstoppable. It normally had guards in it for poison,
And
though.
look at the placement of the archers that Ming did right there. He planted it right at the right at the tile, one tile to the right. Took out
But
the
look
princess.
he is going to end up getting this tower down chippable.
What?
How
5 seconds left. Is he gonna zap the tower, Han? What?
What?
I don't know.
Wait. That had 23 health for a good 30, 40 seconds.
It did.
That almost looked like it got away from him. I was
Possibly
going
a bad rotation. Maybe
Yeah,
he
must
had.
have been an off road. I was going to say, oh.
Oh, it looks like they're arguing now with the referees. Something
Maybe-
happened.
Did he not get? Because that's really weird for him not to have zapped that.
Yeah. He looks a little frustrated right now. Something definitely happened.
Yeah. There's no way that he wouldn't have taken a
If
23
anything,
health
it would have
tower.
been a draw at least.
Yeah. That's tough, though,
Yeah.
if you're Ming to say, okay, it's a draw.
Yeah, and for the, yeah,
But you guys, we have a couple people here, and we explained this yesterday, but there's going to be more people joining in today, obviously, for the finals. But it's a huge convention center. If you're from the U.S., similar to PAX or E3. If you're from Europe, similar to Gamescom, a little smaller than that. But this game runs on Wi-Fi, obviously. All the other games here are more like PC and plugged in with Ethernet. So with the amount of people in here, it bogs down the internet, which sometimes leads to some Wi-Fi issues here.
yeah. I've been in a few tournaments, one in China and in Korea, and Wi-Fi is a huge issue where they take it so seriously. I've seen in Shanghai they actually had 50 routers just to make sure that there are no Wi-Fi issues. This is setting unprecedented grounds for esports right now, where we've
Yes.
never really had competitive, mobile gaming.
Yeah.
With CS:GO, you just plug it in the Ethernet port and you're at full connection.
Yeah.
You're hooked up to the fiber optics pretty
That's
much.
the speed of light as it goes through.
Yep.
Yeah. Speed of electricity.
So basically
I should
what
say.
you're saying is that we need to invent a new device, kind of like
Or-
an iPad that hooks to the Ethernet. A Clash Royale device.
Yeah, like a lightning to Ethernet. Or if we want to remain untethered, we need like a pack on the back of everyone's iPad that they're given that has its own LTE,
Yeah.
and they're all in the same room, so they kind of have their own signal.
So it looks like everyone is saying that he did zap the archers. There's just so much going on, but
I mean,
it doesn't look like it was very intentional. Just he had 40 seconds to do that, and
Yeah.
he's surrounded by a lot of referees right now. He does look very frustrated. Something did happen.
I mean, they're going to watch the replay back, and then you can explain it to them.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is intense because this is to take it 2-1, right? Let's pull a replay up for ourselves. Let's just do a little quick analyzation here. This is the equivalent of a box review in Major League Sports. As we jump into this here, you can see what's going on with the discussion on the field over there. But let's just get to the last golem push and then go 1 times it. Watch and just count or just look at it. Now we can see his hand. So arrows went in. Then the golem's going to kick in here. And then this was the golem that gets pretty shut down. I think it was the double Inferno
Yeah,
golem.
he rotates back to the Inferno for insult to injury.
And then, right, I want to see where this damage came from. Okay, so this golem actually went right to the tower, but then got pulled. But see here, lightning comes down.
He's got 4 elixir. He's selecting this. He has the zap selected after putting down the princess. 10 seconds left.
He zaps the arrows, or the archers. Arrows come in. Now he's waiting for the lightning, probably. Oh no. I didn't see a spell that would have damaged the tower. Did you see anything?
No, there was no chance. He did definitely use the zap on the archers just last second.
Huh. Yeah, so a lot of tension right now, but it looks like we're getting ready for the next match. They're both getting their decks ready. Nah. There's nothing to argue. The Twitch chat said it right there. Leave it to the viewers in the chat. Because we know they'll be lenient or they'll have any mercy on anyone.
Exactly. They're the nicest people.
Yeah. Some of you are, so nothing against you. Misplayed, yeah. It was probably a panic seeing that tower go down so quickly, but he had to know zapping the archers. Like, I would just say, okay, this tower's done. Let's worry about going into OT. Maybe he didn't look at it.
Yeah. But while they're sorting things out, you were telling me that you were using Graveyard defensively. I didn't actually have a chance to do that.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty fun.
I've played like 100 games on the developer pad with Mana, and we've just been so back and forth, and the downside to that is when we kind of experiment with cards is that we get stuck in our own meta. Like, if you watch my gameplay video, we probably, every time we had a different deck, it was because I put a different card in, and the next round he'd put a different card counter me, then I would counter him, I would counter me, he'd counter me.
Yeah.
And we just didn't have much opportunity to use it
I'm glad
defensively.
that in your the sneak peek 1 video you put out that you showed me Mirror Graveyard, Minor Goblin Barrel your King Tower.
Oh, yeah.
That clip was in there. No one commented on it. I was like, where'd the comments about that? So basically what I did is once I had a tower down with the graveyard, there was a giant Sparky, and another lane he went with something else. I just graveyard the middle right in front of my Inferno Tower, and it spawns skeletons both ways. The Sparky can't do anything, then you Mega Minion. But a graveyard on defense, you want to put it right in the middle of your base to prevent split pushes. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's more like there was 20, 30 seconds left, and I knew that was going to buy me at least 10.
Yeah.
Because they're
and
just
I think
going.
that I mentioned that in the video too, where it's very hard to justify on defense, except in the last moments of it, where
Yeah.
it's very hard to get through, but it doesn't provide any value as a counter push.
No, that's the main thing. Looks like they're changing their Wi-Fi settings to clear any air moving forth into the wind.
I had a clanmate who tried to use a gimmick.
No way.
What he did was no way. You don't even know what the gimmick is yet. So
Okay.
Anyway, so what he tried to do was use Graveyard, Miner, Goblin Barrel, and the Mirror, and
Wow.
only take out the King's Tower. And he ended up doing it, but at the cost of 400 trophies. So
Was he even facing the even level at that point?
probably facing someone a lot lower after that, after all that
Once
drop.
someone invents that deck, then the graveyard will be nerfed.
He did invent it.
But like, if you have to lose.
Oh, you mean like a real
400
one?
Yeah.
Like a non-gimmicky one?
Yeah.
One that actually can take out the King's Tower?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of interesting.
The only way I can rocket cycle a King's Tower, which I've done a bunch, was back when the season reset to 3,000. I'd have fun just literally dropping anything on defense and just mirror rocketing the King.
Oh.
It's so troll when it does 717 against a level 9.
And you have no choice. Your account physically got reset, so
Yeah, it's like, well,
It's
I
not
may
like
as
you
well have
chose-
fun with something I can never do in the top.
yeah, it's not like you chose to match up with them.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to be nice. I let them take both Arena Towers for their crowns and then
Yeah.
just go for the 3 crown. But that takes a lot of time, and I just want to get back to where it's competitive. So,
Yeah.
words of wisdom. But now if you're level 10 and you could reach 4,000, first of all, nice job, but it's more like I see mostly 11s when the season resets.
Yeah, I see a lot of level 11s up there.
What are you, level 12?
No, I'm still level 11.
Yeah, and
I
you're showing just over 4,000?
Yeah, I think I got to 46 last season. There's a lot of inflation going on.
Yeah, I've seen a level 11 at almost at 5.
There was a level 11 that reached top 200 last season.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And he invented this mortar deck.
I lost to an 11 when I was at 5 and he was at 48 with he had a Royal Giant. It was just super strong. All right, we're good to go. It is going to be 2-1 Ming.
All right.
So it's ruled that there was no goblins on the Wi-Fi router. So
Oh, I hate those goblins.
no, sometimes they unplug and then they'll take the source and put it in like the 4th slot, and then it's like, wait, what's
Why are my
pow-"
settings weird?
And then they'll just change your DNS, and they'll make a proxy, and then they'll go in and rechange your pat. All right.
Oh no, and then they're gonna DDoS you.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those goblins.
Oh man. And then they'll go ahead and then open some server ports for certain things and block all the way out. All right, this is going nowhere fast.
Anyways, so
Aren't you
they're-
guys hyped for the finals? I know I am, and we're going to be jumping into game 4 in just a few.
But let's check out the bracket right now. What's going on?
Yeah. Why not? B Village, Surgical Goblin. That'll be coming up in 2 hours. That's when the reset after this match here, which is being very drawn out and dramatic, which makes sense. We're going to have a short break while the players move over to the stage that is currently hosting a different event. And when they do that, it's going to be B Village, Surgical Goblin, Term, and the winner of this match.
So
All those 4, a lot more pressure because instead of a couple people surrounding them with beanbags, there's a sea of chairs.
yeah, and they're gonna be at the full stadium with the full music and the speakers in their ears. It looks like a lot of them don't actually have noise canceling headphones, but some of them don't need to play it.
That battle has 16 views in the clan chat. That's pretty funny. A lot
Looks like
of
they
reviews.
really reviewed it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So someone says I'm gonna win all of the tournaments. I'm more of an analyst than I am a player, to be honest. And when I'm on stage, it's a little bit different there, where you're not gonna have the optimal placements for everything.
Yeah, it's more like you're reacting. The fact that so many of these guys here can both use their hyper-analyzation of what their opponent's doing, what the battle's doing, and how it's unfolding.
With the earthquakes going on.
Yeah.
The earthquakes being the Just Dance behind us.
That's probably why there's so many of them wearing headphones. But the earbuds are definitely not drowning out the sonic booms coming from behind the wall behind
Yeah.
us. We're getting ready for match number 4 here.
I usually need my sound when I'm playing. So
Yeah.
that's a really big one for me.
I can't record live commentary unless I have it in my headphones. That's why I always have it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Routed back through.
I thought you were just sponsored by the headphone guys.
No, my headphones, I actually have people that send me ones for console gaming, but I can't record with them because they're not studio grade headphones. They're just playback based headphones for gaming.
Fancy. You're the whole audio expert here with your 500 megahertz range stuff.
500 megahertz.
I don't know. You said that sometime.
Oh, yeah. I like it. All right, we're going to jump into game 4 here any minute. In the chat, you guys, Team Ming or Team Hanzi.
Yep.
It's taking a while to start the next match. We're just making sure that there's not going to be a problem going forward.
Unless chat wants to go for a quick commercial break, it's up to them. If they want to hear us talk about McDonald's.
Oh,
or-
yeah. Do you guys want to hear us just go back and forth a bit, or do you want to see the chair, the headphones, and the omen again? It's up to you.
The chair that can play music and everything.
I'll do it for him.
Perfect. So, I'm pretty excited about my Inferno Dragon right now. Even though the Giant's not in the meta anymore, I just got it midstream. I literally bought it
Yeah.
just now.
No, you didn't. You said it was 5 minutes ago when we were just starting, and that was been at least in 2 hours.
Have we been streaming for 2 hours? Amazing.
Yeah, 2.5.
Not bad. I'm very excited for the finals when that comes up.
Yeah. So we have Surgical and B. Only one of them. They could take first and third. And
Yeah.
then we have Term, who's come out of nowhere, but I'm not going to say he had the easiest path to the Final Four, but I think he had the easiest path to the Final Four. If you look at Mac, Super, I mean, he did beat Pavelfi, though.
Yeah, he did. So it might have just been a very hard match.
Because if we look at that little 3 cluster right there where Term went through, it doesn't have the same like Baby Star, B Village, Surgical, like sound.
Yeah,
like,
the close 3-2 matches going on here.
Yeah. And then like the Ming QW, either of those guys could have been putting up just as good of a fight against HC right now.
These guys are always playing against each other. In the Shanghai tournament, they were
Yeah.
neck and neck with each other and everything.
So you know, in a different universe, if there was 5 final brackets happening, maybe the matchups would determine how this goes. But
Yep. So it looks like they're
starting
ready
up right
for the
now.
match.
Game 4 for a spot in the Final Four. Ming wins, he's in. Hanzi wins, he needs to win again to be in. And let's watch for anything that looks weird, just in case
Now
there
the
is
scores
still
aren't
something going on.
there are the scores. Ming at 2 wins and Hanzi at 1. Just to remind the viewers, Ming is going to be on the bottom side. He's the blue player, and Hanzi is on the top as the red player. Playing the Lava Hound. I think Hanzi has the Lava Hound as well.
Those skeletons, it's funny how they both like look at each other for a second and then they both just pop. Look at it.
It's, it's their...
They're like, kiss me. Nope, pop. Every day we pick
Inferno
it.
Dragon to counter the Lava Hound. That's very interesting.
Okay.
That lightning doesn't do much damage, but when it pops, it's going to take out the Lava Hound or the Inferno Dragon right there for good value. And just so much damage. Despite there being no tank for them, they're just going at it. Already 1 minute in, and that's 1,000 damage in Hanzi's tower. Setting in minions to support the skeletons is even more reason to use arrows.
And Ming's back to the Tombstone deck, and then Hanzi brings out the Tombstone, probably to make more targets. And he's actually got Golem Inferno Dragon.
Without a Tombstone being supported in the front. Very interesting.
Golem Inferno Dragon. I've seen this deck work before.
Ming banked his Tombstone at 10 Elixir, so he might be able to cycle back to Tombstone by the time he needs to pull the Golem once again.
I wonder if he has Minion Horde and Minions, and let's make sure he's not putting that Minion Horde. See, it's in a safe spot. He knows. These players aren't going to make a mistake like Yarnwood here. No, wait, it's going to go back
Arrows
underneath.
doesn't matter, the death damage doesn't matter. It would have taken him out, but it doesn't matter.
And the Mega Minion gets blown back, having to move in between shots to catch up to that Golemite.
Lava Hound on the top pops from that Inferno Dragon, providing so much value. If that Inferno Dragon survives, it could be deadly.
It's zappable if he has it.
Now Ming has to worry about that Inferno Dragon. No,
Oh,
never mind.
How did he shoot through it? He went past the Mega Minion. That's cool. So he puts the Tombstone down and then follows it up with the Lava Hound because he doesn't want the Mega Minion to go and take out the Tombstone or even get one hit on it. The Tombstone's close, but is it close enough to pull? Yeah. One tile
is.
over, it would not have.
One tile from the river is just perfect to pull the air units. Lava Hound gets zapped by that lightning. Stunned by that lightning.
That looks like it could be tower down.
Right there.
Yeah.
It just looks like an absolute domination.
And then the Golem now, it's going to get maybe a good one swing on the tower, and then the death
Oh,
damage,
the death
kills,
damage
the
kills them
minions.
all.
So these
400
guys,
damage.
now what we need to see Hanzi do is finish this tower.
Yes, he does have lightning up if he needs to use it.
He
Which
needs-
it looks like he might need to because arrows aren't going to be enough to finish it. He uses lightning for 143 health tower.
Puts him at -4 elixir for the next play, though. So he's got to defend. I wouldn't be aggressive here at all. But it's cool to see. We saw one person before this attempt, Golem, Inferno Dragon. It didn't work. Let's see if it can work for Han.
Very conservative Tombstone plant there. He's going to have an Inferno Dragon right there to counter the Lava Hound. I would plant the Golem in front when the
That
pops
Lava
pop.
Hound's going, it goes diagonal, then straight, then diagonal, straight. It's really weird. We're all like wonky on its pathing.
Just like I said, the Golem gets planted to absorb some of the pups. Not too much, but...
And then it's going to get under and in front of the Inferno Dragon if the Mega Minion wasn't there, because the Inferno Dragon sits still when there's
Oh,
skeletons.
that was just so perfect when he used lightning on the Tombstone. So the skeleton spawned, delaying that Inferno Dragon, but it just gets taken out.
Oh, good value that he didn't even intend on
That
those
was
arrows.
a positive elixir trade right there.
Half the minions, more than half, reverted back towards the Golem, and we're like, okay, let's go assist here. And this Golem Inferno Dragon deck, I'm super happy that it's
Wow,
doing well.
that-
It's hard to play. It's not easy.
Hanzi did miss that log on the Tombstone, so it didn't provide him any value. But that tower is just so low
He's
right
bringing
now.
in arrows immediately after the lightning because he doesn't want the Inferno Dragon there.
Miner goes in tanks for the pups. That Mega Minion's going to die. It's going to deal a lot of damage.
Oh no, the Lava
So
Hound.
much damage to the-
And the
Han-
Hanzi takes it. There's so much tension. What is happening? This is what we said today was going to be like, and it is exactly. We see a new deck, and that's
Yep.
how it ends after what was a very controversial last match. Holy cow,
So
we're
this-
going to 5 again.
Yeah, the score is 2-2 for both parties right now, so it's such a close match.
Those pups would have easily gone through the rest of that tower with just like a zap or arrows. I don't think he had zap.
Yep.
I'm just like, just watching these, I'm just like, dang, how are these guys pulling this off? But
The one thing that did bother me, though, was that when Han missed that log,
the other log.
Of the log, yeah. But he still got 2 towers, which was so much.
Right now, you just saw what happened. Your next match determines if you get to go to the big stage, and if you win, this next match is for $1,000 or to go home with some experience.
There's a prize for 6th and 5th.
No.
So there's still the quarterfinals, 2-2.
Yeah.
Right, there's 4 players, so
Yeah. This is to get that 4th spot.
now they're really competing for that $1,000 prize.
Yeah, I mean, not only, but the first ever ESWC Clash Royale tournament, you could say that you placed in a winning position if you win this one and move forward. So that alone, the title alone is going to long outlast the cash value of the prizes. That's just a nice little bonus, but it's crazy to see how it's mostly just the players now here.
Yep.
And people are just, they're like, we'll watch, but man, that's got to be tough, especially if you're a local person who qualified here to go up against these players. That's a good experience, even if you don't make it.
It is.
How many? Because that would have been, if there's 132 or 28, right? Yeah.
16 finalists today.
Yeah. Sorry,
Such a close
there's
match.
so many numbers lately.
Yep, 437 damage. Lightning, 493. Rocket.
The amount of players, the amount of winnings, the amount of rounds, the match and the bracket.
Yep.
It's Math Royale.
Graveyard, 1.5 second load time. Spawning 17 skeletons total over a period of 10 seconds.
You had that wrong initially.
I did. I did.
What'd you say it was?
I said it was 20 because I didn't account for the load time. So 1.5 seconds would have spawned 3 extra skeletons.
That would have been an army. The original, or the second army.
The original one before.
Before 21, yeah.
Before
Black.
the 4th skeleton migrated to the skeleton army.
Who do you think it was? Larry? Gary?
No, it wasn't because if you look at the witch's description, Larry is.
In her group.
I think so.
Oh, what about Lee Doot?
Ledoux is still in the skeleton army.
Oh, nice. What are a couple so when we look for the next updates coming out, we could probably be on the lookout for a poison description change.
That's really bothering me, the stickiness.
Well, I just mentioned it when the balance changes were announced but not out yet, and then I got flooded with tweets because I mentioned it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I told them that an art change like that or like a graphical thing isn't like just a server-side fix. They kind of want to go rework it.
Just to change the description, you need to do a full, client update? Not,
A full update with like App Store update.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that just means that
Values
you're
can
inconveniencing
be
millions of
server-side.
players just because it says sticky.
Yeah.
So we're going to be jumping into the match right now for the big $1,000 prize.
And potentially more. One of these players, the way they're playing, I can see them going way beyond 4th. Term's going to have one heck of a matchup against one of these guys.
Oh, they're switching it up. Now he has an Inferno Dragon.
What?
They're just playing Lava Hound versus Lava Hound.
Let's see if HC... Well, he has minions, which weren't in the Inferno Dragon deck, I don't think.
I wonder what the Tombstone skeletons are called. So
I think we have a Golem deck on the bottom, which was just used against Ming.
Yep. So that Mega Minion just provided so much value right there.
So now, if HC's gone back to double minions, that's going to be a problem for an Inferno Dragon.
Look at that miner on the bottom left right now. It's not being addressed right now, so it's going to deal just under 500 damage to the tower. Right there.
Good
Boom.
vlog. One archer gets a golem, one archer gets rejected.
That is ridiculous. It
What?
Did they switch decks?
Yeah,
It's
they
kind of
did.
flipped.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now we see Ming using Golem Inferno Dragon against a deck that has Lava Hound minions. So the Inferno Dragon's going to provide almost no value.
Now Han is playing the Air Fecta deck right now. That Mega Minion goes in, it's going to deal oh my goodness.
You're right,
2,000
that
damage.
tower would have been gone. Look how slow that tower took out that Golemite.
Yeah, it was targeted on the Mega Minion.
But I mean, if he has the lightning spell, he could almost drop it to just, that's a better idea, yeah. Who am I to say what they should do?
Han going in for that slow chip damage. He's
That miner left alone just to do under 500 damage.
under 500 damage. It looks like he's not even going in for the Lava Hound push, just going in for that miner because he's scared to pull that Inferno Dragon.
The same side Lava Hound provides a little bit of defense if he backs it with archers and Inferno Dragon.
Look at that value log, taking all the skeletons and the Ice Spirit, but it misses the archers because they were planted after the log.
And then if the miner comes underneath this, Oh,
One hit.
that lightning just changed the course of that counter push because he was banking on the Lava Hound popping, having all that support from the minions, and then Miner on the bottom there. Now he's going back to his original side.
That Inferno Dragon was not even there to take out the Infernos or the minions, just a tank for them.
It's on the King Tower. It's heating up.
2,000 damage on the King Tower right there. That's ridiculous. That never happens.
It's very rare for the lava or the Inferno Dragon to do
Is
that.
this going to be our first 3-crown match of the day? 5 seconds left, going into overtime. Mega Minion to counter that Golem right there.
What's tougher
Minion
about going
horde.
for a King Tower with a Golem than going straight in an Arena Tower? There's a lot more options to deploy your troops on defense.
Yeah.
There's almost
That-
double the real estate.
That Golem didn't explode on the tower, so that was very lucky for Han right there. Lightning
The
on the
lightning
tower.
goes in.
347, exactly enough to do a lightning.
Oh,
He takes
and a
that for
Mega Minion.
$1,000 right there.
Oh, man, the lightning.
Wow.
And the Mega Minion got one swing with no health.
Ming always taking the money in these tournaments. That was insane.
They're shaking hands.
I was excited that it was that lightning damage, but it didn't even need that. Just
Their
the
other
Mega
match
Minion.
they've had some of the closest matches. Obviously, that one was going for the 3-count or not getting it at all, but it had 900 health after the Inferno Dragon burned it down pretty good. It would have been 3 lightnings with almost your full health tower, so I think
Yeah.
eventually he would have had it, but what a dramatic way to end it. Just insane.
Now he has the title of being one of the finalists of the finalists of the finalists.
Yep.
Finalist of the 1,000-game tournament, finalist of Group 4, finalist of the round of the final.
This is called, the ESWC final. That's what clan we're in right now.
I'm the finalist of the finalist of the finals.
And then we have our final 4 who are going to be going to the main stage here in just a little bit. It should be an hour max or so. But that's going to be...
That was so intense. And that felt like a final match, and that's not even the best of it yet. We still have...
I know.
Let's check out what we have in the bracket right now.
I'll refresh it. We haven't had the score yet calculated for HC or Ming, but we know right there it's going to be Ming moving on, right?
Yep. And again, you
to
can check it
face
out
Term.
in the chat. Bracket.
Exclamation point bracket, and it'll take you to the tournament website, which is what we are on right here, where this website or where this tournament is being scored out.
Yeah, so Ming did take that victory. It hasn't been reported yet, but it will be updated soon. Where Ming will be in the top 4 with Term, and then B Village will be with Surgical Goblin. We'll see where the finals will be, but it'll come up at 2 o'clock Paris time.
Yeah, that's going to be intense.
Yeah, so with that wrapped up, is it time?
I think it is. That has been the morning portion of the stream. The second half is going to be a little shorter. There's only 4 players, but they will be an elimination bracket for the 2 that lose to fight for 3rd and 4th position. 5,000, 2,500, 1,500, and 1,000. That was a little bit quicker, right?
Yeah.
Those are going to be the prizes when we come back.
They're all
at 2.
guaranteed.
Yeah. So I guess with that, we'll see everybody at 2, right?
For some, stay tuned for more quality OJ.
What do I give them for quality? I give... All right, we'll see you guys at 2.
hanging by a thread, hung up on all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. And what's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. Upside down. Upside down. Gonna turn it all around. Upside down. Don't tell me that I need saving. Finally awake and living. Yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack, and now my mind's attacked. And I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul 'cause it is flawed. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down, so I'm gonna turn it all around.
changes.